Hi, Witchy Was. Welcome, new members, new Sherlocks up in here. Thank you. As I was saying, today's title is Sigma Chi Interviews via Connor. And I have my two co hosts this evening. um, I have the puppy cam going. Thank you to Holly. Holly gifted some memberships last live. I hope I don't hear an echo because I have the other cam going. Let's see. There we go. Shouldn't have any echo now. All right. So let's get started here. I am going to share my screen and present the interview of the Sigma Chi brothers, who were Ethan Chapin's brothers. I'm going to share that with you guys, and we are going to take a look here. Okay. This is via KTVB. I still hear my echo. I'm going to play this and try to get rid of that echo.
So it looks like you recently graduated college and you want to purchase a Honda?
Real college grads can save.
Okay, that was a ad. Here we go now. Well, I started the episode. I was muted, but I'm like, bing bong, bing bong. Go New York, go New York, go. All right, here we go.
This fraternity is very special to me. The camaraderie's all there. The brotherhood's all there.
A year after the killings on King Road, the Sigma Chi fraternity brothers at the University of Idaho, they are sharing their memories about Ethan Chapin with us. The four students we talked to are from Eagle, Meridian, and Grangeville, Idaho. And we went to the Sigma Chi house and heard about their love for Ethan and how they're trying to heal together. Here at the Sigma Chi house at the University of Idaho, memories of Ethan Chapin are everywhere.
I have never met someone who's so universally loved. Everyone liked him. He was just the happiest person to be around. Everyone wanted to be around him.
Losing Ethan in such a tragic way has impacted each of these students. The feelings and the emotions are still fresh.
Right after that happened, it was a madhouse up in Moscow. There's news people everywhere, and I don't know. It was just no one knew what was going on, really, because stuff like that doesn't really happen in a town like this. But I think as a house, we all banded together. It was hard because a lot of people went home. I felt way better when I was up here with my brothers rather than being at home. I needed to be around these guys, talking about what I was feeling, talking about E. Maybe we want to talk about memories with E.
All of us knew that no one was going to look down on them for sharing their emotions or, anything like that.
How we handled that as a fraternity, it wasn't one person handling the situation. We handled it as a brotherhood, and I think that really helped us get through.
They each shared happy memories of Ethan.
It's the coolest guy you'll ever meet. That's about it right there.
He was a really big, funny, happy guy.
When someone would walk in the room, not just me, anybody, he would welcome you into the room.
He was always very kind in everything that he did.
He always would call me Gussie Gus in his little raspy voice.
Emotionally, always there for people.
One of my favorite memories with him was my apartment flooded one night after a big party because there was all sorts of plumbing problems with it. It's an old house. Went over to Xana's and I was hanging out with the two of them, and we just talked for hours and hours. And Xana made us grilled cheese sandwiches, and Ethan and I are just sitting there talking. So that's one of my most cherished memories with him. I think back to that night a lot, and I try to focus on nights like that rather than the sad ones when it comes to E.
The brothers lost Ethan's girlfriend, Xana Kernodle, that terrible night, too.
Him and Xana were just the most perfect couple you could imagine.
That's just how she was. She was just able to come over here and hang out with all the dudes, and it was oh, hey, what's up, Xana? He said that Ethan was the most universally loved person on campus, I think Xana was right up there with Ethan. Like, everyone loved Xana, everyone loved Ethan. Both of them were just.
I think, just my 2 cents here, so many people, so many interviews, they say the same thing about Ethan and Xana. Fun people to be around, outgoing. They said they're meant to be together. They have the same personalities.
Flourishing for sure.
Hunter Chapin, Ethan's brother, is also a member of this house.
It was kind of tough because it was a subject that he didn't want to talk about for a while. Just kind of letting him know that we are there if he ever does want to talk. Just kind of knowing that that's open for him if he ever does need a release to let his emotions out to us.
When we were there, the first Sigma Chi Ethan Chapin Memorial Scholarship was awarded to Hunter.
Okay, so this is Ethan Chapin's, what do you call that? It's like a program where they award grants. Not a fundraiser. What do you call that? Whatever. So Hunter Chapin was the first person who was awarded this grant.
The Chapin family was there, his mom, his dad, his sister Maisie. And there was a standing ovation.
I think it obviously means a lot going to Hunter. You know, we're talking all about E right now, but Hunter's right there with him. You know, like they're very, very similar people, especially with what Hunter's gone through, obviously. And then the way he's come out on the other end, like the person he is now. Like personally, I don't think I could be not okay. The word isn't okay,
That's
but
strong.
be that strong in a situation like that. Like if I were to lose one of my brothers, for Hunter to go through all that and then come out on the other end, you know, as strong and as great of a man as he is now, like that exemplifies everything Ethan did in the past, and I think it's 100% Hunter's deserving of it.
I think it means a lot that Sigma Chi took the bull by the horns and made this scholarship a thing, and the
That's what it is. It's a scholarship fund in Ethan's name.
world raised $125,000 for the scholarship, which is absolutely insane. And that's $5,000 to a Sigma Chi every single year, which is incredible. I don't think there's a better way to honor Ethan than to just help some more people, help more people go to
Continue
college.
giving.
Exactly. He gave his whole life. So let's keep on.
So, Red Man, what's up, Edie? How are you? I want to make sure you guys can hear this. Can you guys let me know if you're hearing this? Now, to add on to what this gentleman just stated, he said Ethan gave his life. That is incorrect. Ethan didn't give his life. Ethan's life was taken. So, what am I missing here?
On giving in the name of Ethan his whole life. So let's keep on giving in the name. He gave his whole life. So let's keep on giving.
He said he gave his whole life. No, his life was taken. He didn't give his life. Or are you saying this was some type of sacrifice? Is that what you're saying?
Giving in the name of Ethan.
The scholarship award plaque and photos of Ethan will live on here at Sigma Chi forever.
We all are wearing these bracelets. I don't know if I can't see if Kyle. Yeah, we literally all are.
I've got
From-
any words on mine.
Yeah,
anymore,
mine's all
but
faded. We got these at his
still-
memorial last year, and they said live life like Ethan on them. And I haven't taken mine off since. And every morning when I look at my wrist and I see this, I just know I should live life like Ethan that day. So I think that the stories of Ethan are going to just go from generation to generation, from pledge class to pledge class. And I think that's amazing that his story will be shared with everyone, and everyone can hopefully live life like Ethan.
And you know, I want to thank those fraternity brothers for being brave enough to sit down and talk with us. They said they were ready to speak about Ethan, and they did it so eloquently, didn't
They
they?
were really incredible to hear from them and all of these families that
Yes.
reached out to you when they thought it was time to spread, more attention to these four incredible people.
Yes, we want the
lost.
focus to be on these four students. And we talked to the University of Idaho this week about healing for the students and staff. We talked to the Gonzalez family in Rathdrum about Kaylee and Maddie. And of course, we talked to the Chapin family. To watch all of these stories and to see extended interviews and more content on the 1-year mark of what happened in Moscow, go to ktvb.com.
Okay, that was it. Now, there's this guy here. We have his interview. And the reason I am doing this episode,
So it looks like you recently graduated.
the reason why I'm doing this episode is because we need to fill in the gaps of this timeline. Okay, so again, I want to thank Connor for this interview. We are going to head over to his channel and listen to it. Give me 1 second. Have you watched the memorial of Ethan where, yes, Edie, I have that somewhere. I don't know if it was my last episode or the one before that. Awful. It was just like Hunter's speech was very cold, in my opinion. It wasn't your average memorial speech that you'd give for a friend. So that was very alarming to me. Thank you, Edia, for being here. Let me know if you're able to. It was so cringe. Oh, horrible. Edie, let me know if you hear an echo. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Okay, we have 5 people in here so far. Hit the like button if you're in here, just to get this video into the algorithm, and we're able to share our perspectives on this. So we are going to listen to Conrad Harrison's interview. This was conducted December 14th, and you can find this interview on Connor's channel. I will link it to the description. Let's get going here. Let's play it. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm sorry. Let me stop this. I actually was looking at the Facebook, Sigma Chi's Facebook page. And I noticed a few interesting pictures. Ooh, not Illinois. Okay, so we're going to go through these photos. He said he met Ethan in August, right? Okay, so here we are. Now check this out. So I started, let's see, around okay, this is 17. Let's keep going here. 19. Here we go. June 2022, right? We're getting closer here. Let's take a look at these photos. Look, that looks like my doggy. Aw. This is the kid that we just saw in the interview. Now, check this out. So let's get a timeline of this Sigma Chi, right? So in July, they had a Sigma Chi barbecue. RSVP to Gus or Colby. This is Colby Pugh. We have his interview as well. Well, Connor does. Thank you for that. Let's continue. Almost bid day, August. So I'm just like checking out all these people, see if I see any familiar faces here, right? So we're continuing. Okay. August 14th is when he stated he met Ethan, right? So around this time, he met this character. Here we go. He was, I need his name, number 63. I need to figure out his name. Let's keep going here. This is all in August, right? No Ethan yet? Okay. No. No, I think this is Ethan here. If I'm not mistaken, this might be Ethan here. Right? Let's keep going. This is September 7th. The brothers of Sigma Chi were deeply moved during the Idaho IFC talk earlier tonight. Okay. Let's continue. September 14th at Rush. So Rush was in September, not August. So this kid said August, that he met Ethan in August, but I don't know how they do their rushes. I don't know how often it's done. Dean's List. We see some familiar names here, right? Hayden, Kelvin Cobley, Peter, Colby, David Baroka, right? Very familiar names here. Let's keep going. Now, this is September 15th. This to me looks like David Loke, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just a little confused with this university allowing photos like this on their page. Was that allowed? I'm really confused. It seems out of place to me because this random photo, like you have Dean's List, right? All of these, brotherly things. And then we get to this day here, September 15th, and we have a smoker here. That seems out of place to me on a university website, Facebook page, what have you. Okay, let's keep going. At Rush. Okay, same guy we saw up there, right? On that other interview. Okay, let's continue. Seems like they had an outing on this day, September 15th. She looks familiar also. I mean, all these kids, we're just getting to know these kids. Well, I wouldn't say kids, young adults. You kind of see all of the same faces together, right? September 18th looks like another outing here. Love game days. This was the football game, I assume. Over the weekends, we initiated 13 new members into Sigma Chi. We will watch your careers with great interest. This was September 27th. Okay. Almost Friday, September 29th. This is the guy we're going to check out his interview shortly. Okay. Excuse me. Look at this. And look at the background. Nothing but beer bottle cans on the ground. Okay. This is at the frat. Looks like he's been fighting, someone commented. Fiona Hole commented a year ago. Yeah, I'd say. Here we go. Why? Utah? Was he transferred there? Or, I mean, I know Utah, there's certain courses or certain degrees you have to take or classes you can take at another campus. Is he a graduate from Utah? I'm just interested. I mean, I know people just wear stuff to wear stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean that he went to this school, but it's a good question to ask. And here is Ethan and Hunter. Ethan and Hunter over here. We had a great time at our annual highway clean with Idaho Alpha this morning. Can't wait for the next one. Community service, highway cleanup. This was October 9th. Okay. Let's continue. October 27th now, closer to Halloween. Why is David Baroka here? All these girls and just 4 random dudes, huh? That's David. October 27th. Okay, notice I don't understand all of the ladies and then just 3 random dudes. You notice that? Like a group of ladies and just a couple random guys here, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. You see 'em? Like, I don't get this. But moving on. Now, here we go. This is October 28th. October 30th. November 1st. Okay. So now we're on to November. Okay. Like, look at this. Why would you post this on a university, on a college website, basically? This is so out of place. This almost Friday stuff, what does that mean? Almost Friday. So is it Thursday? What? Is it like a special day? Is Thursday a special day for them? November 3rd. November 3rd. What? He's not a Sigma Chi. Hunter's not a Sigma Chi that I'm aware of, or is he? Why is he here? That's definitely Hunter Johnson. That's him. Again, Loke is like the center, is in this always in the center, right? Loke is always in the center of a photo. And I don't see Ethan here, November 3rd. But I do see Hunter, which is kind of odd to me. But let's move on. Look at this guy. Look at all this. What is this? Wait, could that be Ethan? This guy's a bum, he says. He looks like Murphy. This pup looks like Murphy. So this is November 3rd, and that's the last photo. That's the last photo in 2022 from Sigma Chi on Facebook. This is it. November 3rd. This is the last event they posted on here. November 3rd was a big day. A lot of things were posted November 3rd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 photos were posted on this day. This is the last photo in 2022. We know the murders happened November 12th or 13th. So next photo is January 25th, 2023. So was this page inactive after the murders? Because there's no photos after that day, okay? So I wanted to point out those things, and now we're going to listen to the interview. Let's go there. Okay. Thank you all for being here. Kelly, thank you for questioning everything. Seriously. Okay, so we are going to begin with the interview now. Let's go. This is Conrad Harrison. Thank you once again to Connor. We appreciate everything you do. Let's play this video. Again, why are we listening to this? We're listening to this to fill in our timeline because there's gaps in our timeline. We also, this morning, I heard Kennedy Fitzgerald's interview, and it plugged a lot of holes in the timeline. So I was able to, cover those. And now I want to cover what Conrad has to say because apparently a lot went down at Sigma Chi. Yeah.
And have you obviously his attend? Do you know obviously, do you know?
Yeah, I know them both.
Do you know their parents at all?
Redacted.
But didn't know them too well until more recently.
After this happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I kind of started talking to them,
So, did Ethan talk to you much about his past, his background, like when he was in high school and stuff?
Not too much. All I kind of knew about his background was that he had played a lot of sports, was always kind of more on the popular side, not like a super popular kid or anything, but just kind of always well off and never really had any crazy things going on. Just seemed like a kid who always kind of just did whatever and had fun doing it, kind of thing. But I didn't know too much about his past.
Did he have a lot of friends outside Sigma Chi?
From what I can tell, yeah. Even just like not at this university, I'd always seen text a lot of people back home because I lived with him. What was it, last semester?
Okay. let's stop that right there. He's saying some important things we need to jot down, right? Julian, bing bong. Bing bong, baby, let's go. All right, so we need to jot this down. Let's go back.
Did whatever and had fun doing it, kind of thing. But I didn't know too much about his past.
Did he have a lot of friends outside Sigma Chi?
From what I can tell, yeah. I mean, even just like not at this university, I'd always seen text a lot of people back home because I lived with him. What was it, last semester? I lived with him last semester.
He lived with Ethan last semester, so that's super important.
And then also just around campus and everything, aside from the SIGs, he was very popular.
Were you in for before?
Yeah, I lived with him last semester. But yeah, he was very popular with the fraternities and sororities. He'd go to, I feel like he knew a guy from every house. There'd be a party one weekend or something at a different fraternity, and he'd just text someone that he knew there, and they'd get him in. So it's almost like he had connections everywhere, kind of. But yeah, very, very well-liked person, for sure.
What fraternities primarily are you talking about that he would be able to go to their parties?
The parties that he mainly would go to would be Pike, if he would go there, for like the actual fraternity party at Pike. He didn't really go to other fraternity parties like that were thrown at the house because there were a lot that couldn't, a lot of chapters that couldn't, but he would go to a lot of like out of house parties of like Delts, Betas, and then I'm trying to think. I think that was pretty much.
Okay, so Ethan not only does he hang with the Sigma Chi, it seems, he's also commingling or what have you with other frats, like the Delts, he said, and the Pies.
Much it.
There was another frat he mentioned, 2 other frats. But this may be important because I don't know if frats like that. I don't think frats would like you if you're here, you're a part of our group. You're in our house. You're basically ours. You think they allow you to have fun with other frats? I don't know. It's a good question to ask.
Just like people like lived in the Whites. They would have people over.
Lived in the Whites, lived on Kings, kind of just lived around. It depended, but yeah.
He lived on the Whites and he lived on King, okay?
Did he ever talk about having problems with anybody at any of these parties?
Not really. I mean, the most that he would talk about having problems with people would be like, some drunken idiot that was playing with a speaker or something and messing with it, and he'd be like, screw off. But like, it was never physical altercations or anything, never screaming.
Well, that's contradictory to what we just saw. We just saw pictures of guys with bruises and scratching on their face. So I don't think he's being truthful here, in my opinion. No.
Yelling, never anything that wasn't okay the next day after, where, they talked to the guy or saw them again and they apologized. They're like, hey, I'm sorry, I was drunk last night. That was my bad. But yeah, not anything that I ever saw of him actually really having issues with anyone.
So what kind of personality, how would you describe his personality?
Very electric. He was just a very happy, kind of go-lucky person. I don't know, he was always just cracking jokes and kind of giggling and never really took anything too seriously. But just kind of had a good time while he was doing it. And had a strong work ethic, though, and could really kind of buckle down and get stuff done when he needed to. But when he was just, relaxing and hanging out, it was just bubbly, giggly Ethan.
from all accounts, everyone is stating that Ethan was bubbly, giggly, outgoing, never got into any fights. So it's just making me question, then why would anyone want to hurt him? If this is the case, if this is all true, why would anyone want to hurt him then?
So, when we remember people, we want to remember the good things about them. But if there's any bad things, I need to know that too. So, yeah. If you have problems with drugs or money or cheating on Xana or some Xana cheating on him or something we just don't know about. Yeah. You guys got to tell us.
From what I know, I mean, he struggled in school. I knew that he did pretty poorly his first semester here. But he understood that, got a tutor. And his next semester, I think he was, well, that would have been this semester, but he was on track to move back into the house. I think he had a 3.3 or something, so he obviously fixed the issues there. As far as drugs, he drank a lot. He would smoke occasionally, marijuana. And he would do Adderall a good amount. He'd usually pair that with drinking.
Where do you think he got the Adderall from?
I'm not sure. I just know that there was a lot of people around here that would sell it, and he'd be like, I need Adderall tonight. And he'd text a few people, and then he'd have Adderall that night.
But those are just like other kids that have prescriptions. They're just selling
I assume so.
There's not like a guy.
So Ethan would text a couple people when he wanted Adderall. So this seems like he wasn't prescribed it. Now, this is going on in colleges. Like, this seems to be a huge issue with Adderall and people using it when it's not really prescribed to you. And just, I don't know. I've never taken it. I don't know why people get addicted to it, but it's so bad.
Guy that you go to get your Adderall that has an illegal supply of Adderall here.
No. It was, from what I could tell, it was just, kids that had prescriptions that were just selling their own pills to people to make some extra money.
Okay.
So if a kid had a prescription for it, they'd go ahead and sell their pills. But I mean, I don't know. There's other ways to get it, in my opinion.
Any conflicts ever arise over that? Even get mad that they feel like they got shorted or didn't get paid, or?
No, I don't think so. And if there ever was something like that, Ethan, if say someone was going to give him something and he didn't have the money on him or something, he'd always get them back the next day with the same amount or more, or give him a rack on top of it or something. He always made up for it.
Okay.
And then as far as going on that still, when I lived with Ethan, he had told me that like Adderall and weed was like the most he wanted to do, and that he didn't want to do cocaine or anything. That was kind of a big thing for him. I know he did do it once, and he felt really bad about it, and I talked to him about it, and then after that it looked kind of like he didn't.
He did what once? Cocaine?
Cocaine once. Yeah. From what I knew, I don't know if he did it again, but he's only told me once. And then after that, we talked about it, and he said that he didn't want to do it again. Like, he wanted to kind of stick to what he originally wanted and felt bad about it. So that was never like a ongoing issue. He never had an addiction with that or anything, but that it just happened once, from what I can tell.
Over at 1122.
What did you say?
Over at 1122, the house that Xana lived in.
Where he did it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was there. I think.
Edie, I've heard about that. Edie, I've heard that it gets people, that people use it to focus. Like, it helps you focus. I'm curious though, what part of it irritated you? Like, what part of it irritated you? Like, you're too focused on one thing and you're hypersensitive, or you're hyper focused on one thing and it annoys you? Like, I'm curious about that part of it. Pup 1 and Pup 2. Kane. Hi, Scully. What the deal?
I think it might have been at some other out of house one night.
Where did he spend most of his time?
Usually at the house, over in apartment. I don't know. Have you talked to Kai?
Yeah, that's in.
Yeah, down by the lower floor.
Yeah.
Might have been at some other out of house one night.
Where did he spend most of his time?
Usually at the house, over in apartment.
The question was, where did Ethan spend most of his time? His response is not clear to me. He said over at the house, and then he says apartment. So which one is it?
I don't know. Have you talked to Kai? I'm not sure if it was there. I think it might have been at some other out of house one night.
Where did he spend most of his time?
Usually at the house, over in apartment. I don't know. Have you talked to Kai?
Yeah, that's in.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know. Have you talked to Kai? This response, it's not clear. He says over at a house, then he says apartment, and then he says, have you spoken to Kai? Okay.
Down by the lower floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to live there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely two mans back then. But there's.
You notice how my white pup, he hates it. He knows the camera is on. Look at it. He's got his back to the camera. He knows the camera's recording him. It's so cute. Look at him. He hates it. Aw. That's so funny.
No such thing as a one man in the Sigma Chi back then, or where you guys started that from?
Well, we started it because, I mean, the beds, no one wanted to sleep on a bunk bed. So, but anyway, he spent most of his time, at least more recently, in there. Like this last semester, he lived obviously up closer to the 76, but he'd wake up every day, drive down, and just come hang out at the house all day to, be with the guys.
Did you get the feeling that he stayed most of the time at his apartment near the 76, or that he stayed with Xana?
It was more often him staying with Xana. From what I could tell, I feel like he was rarely at his apartment. He'd either stay at the house or stay at Xana's most of the time, from what I knew.
Okay, so Xana. He says Xana.
But as far as those two together, there was no cheating or any issues in that relationship, it seemed.
Okay, listen to this. He says no cheating or nothing, it seems, in that relationship, and he stayed mostly with Xana.
Like a match made in heaven for me. So, yeah, there was nothing negative that I really knew about there. And everyone at the house, loved Xana. We all knew her. A lot of people knew her before Ethan knew her and started dating her. And then when they did start dating, everyone just was very happy about it. So,
Understood. You had a relationship with her?
yeah, did. We were very close with her. They never started dating or anything. Because I also lived with people.
No hard feelings between Peter and Ethan about any of that?
No, they were the best of friends. People would joke with Ethan about it, that they both slept with the same girl and stuff. And
Okay. 1 second, you guys, okay? So, quick little segue here. We got some treats from Red Barn, you guys. Collagen treats. You see? Wait, Astro. Okay. Let's give the boys some treats so they can leave me alone. Here you go. Okay, so this part of the show is sponsored by Red Barn. Wait, Maxie, you like it? We got some treats from Red Barn. What else do we have here? What else we have here? Oh, little ducks. Here you go. Astra, bring it back. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, we have more. Okay, I'm just giving them 2 for now. We'll put the other 2 for another day, okay? All right, sweet. And this one's an alligator. Look how cute. Here you go, honey bunnies. Okay. Go play with your toys. Go play with your toys. Go. Go play with your toys. Go. Go play with your toys. You like your new toysies? Yeah. Look at your ducky and your alligator. Go ahead, sit. Okay, sponsored by Red Barn, guys. All right, now let's continue with the show.
You know, that kind of stuff. But I mean, originally, I'm sure he wasn't too thrilled about it, but it was his best friend dating his other best friend. So, I mean, I think in the end, he was completely fine with it. From what I could tell, they all always hung out together before they were dating. And then when they started dating, nothing changed. They all would still continue to hang out with each other and laugh and have good times.
While we're on that kind of line of thought, were you familiar with any of the other girls in the house at 1122?
Just Xana.
Just Xana.
Just Xana.
So you didn't know Maddie or Kaylee?
Yeah, I didn't know Kaylee at all. I had met Maddie before, like I said earlier, at parties or stuff, because I was over at Xana's house pretty often, because they would pretty much just throw little get-togethers every night, and that's kind of where they got.
Well, we saw him as he says Xana's house. So they're referring to it as Xana's house. We saw him and Hunter Johnston one night there on a body cam. He was there when they opened the door for the officers.
I just kind of went over, some of them would, and that was before when she had her house down the street from the current one. I think it's AKL's live there now, but it's right by when you come into King Street and then turn left, it's like right at that dumpster, the bend going up towards her house, if that makes sense. It is this one. That's where she used to live last.
Is that an apartment?
No, it's a house.
It's a very large house. How many people live there?
There was, or wait, am I? Oh, no, I'm
Here's
completely
1122. Here's the homicides occurred.
Yeah, no.
Here's the whites.
This is a house.
This is a.
Mm-hmm. It's just a really long one story, but there's like a room here, and then I think back over here, and then like another area over there.
So for the record, he's pointing out on a Google Earth map.
And then redacted. For the record, he's pointing redacted.
Okay, so did you go to 1122? Have you ever been to this house?
Yes, I've been there pretty frequently as well.
Recently?
But he just told you he was at Xana's house. So is he talking about another house? He just told you he was at Xana's house often. So now what house are you talking about?
Did you go to 1122? Have you ever been to this house?
Yes.
I don't understand. He told you maybe he needs it in maybe he just needs it in writing. I don't know. But he just told you he was at Xana's house often. So he's now asking again.
I've been there pretty frequently as well.
Recently?
Wait, no. He's not asking about the 1122 house here. Listen closely, you guys. You know why? Because he says as well. I've been there as well. So not 112. He already told you he was there. But there's another house that the detective asked do you go here often? And he says, let's listen. Again, it's another house the detective is asking him, not the 1122.
It is this one. That's where she used to live last.
Is that an apartment?
No, it's a house.
It's a very large house. How many people live there?
There was, or wait, am I? No, I'm
Here's
completely
1122. Here's where the homicides occurred.
Yeah, no.
Here's the whites.
This is a house.
They're looking at a map. We need those maps. Like, come on, stop playing games with us. We need those maps. The detective is pointing at a map for him. Okay? Now let's listen.
Mm-hmm. It's just a really long one story. But there's like a room here, and then I think back over here, and then like another area over there.
So for the record, he's pointing out on a Google Earth map.
The whites. I assume the whites. But it's redacted.
Okay, so did you go to 1122? Have you ever been to this house?
This fucking detective, what a fucking asshole. I know what you're doing. I know exactly what he's doing. He's trying to make it seem like he's talking about 112, but it's not. It's not 112 because he already told you he was there often. And then, you know what's the kicker? When he says as well. Listen.
Yes, I've been there pretty frequently as well.
I've been there pretty frequently as well. So we know it's not 1122. I want to know what house this detective is pointing at. We need to know.
Recently?
Not recently. You mean in terms of after the event?
No, before.
Oh,
Did you
before.
go over there and hang out and drink and stuff?
Yeah, but that was a pretty common thing because back at the other house that Zane used to have, they had 5 roommates. They'd all invite us over.
How many times?
Listen. He's saying yes because at 1122, Xana had 5 other roommates. So when we couldn't go party there, we went to this other place. Where? What are they talking about?
So you say this year you've been over to 1122 hanging out?
He's fucking yawning in the middle of his interrogation too? You're fucking yawning now? Yo, this is why I can't do interviews. I'm fucking heated already. This is fucking pissing me off, and we haven't even started.
Probably like 10, 15, 20 in that kind of range, like a good amount.
Okay, so when you're over there hanging out, did you ever observe any conflicts, fights, arguments that happened over there?
Now, it's over there. It's not 1122. We're still talking about over there. Whatever house it is, that's what they're talking about here, not 1122. Let's get that straight.
Anybody getting kicked out because of their behavior? Any girls complaining about the way guys were acting?
Not really. I'm trying to think.
Understand that there was a lot of betas that would hang out there and a lot of adults that would hang out there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Was there any other houses besides those 2 fraternities that often had people come over?
It was pretty much just those 2 and the Sigma Chi's.
Any problems between Sigma Chi's, adults, betas? I mean, adults kind of have a reputation.
Yeah.
They've had it forever. When I was here, they had the same reputation they do now. So we didn't get along with them.
No, I completely understand. As far as
we didn't get along with them. The cop is in the fucking sorority. He's giving it up. He just gave it up. This cop is from Idaho. This cop's from Idaho. He graduated the same fucking college and he went to the same fucking fraternity. This is bias. This is a bias investigation. You're interrogating one of your own? This is a fucking bias interrogation. I'm sorry. Investigation.
Ethan goes, there was never really anyone getting mad at Ethan or him really getting mad at other people. The delts and betas that usually came were usually on sort of the better end of the spectrum as far as the house, because they were, Ethan actually tolerated them being there. Otherwise he wouldn't have gone over. Because we have some issues with betas and delts as well. But there was never really any physical fights at all that I knew of or saw or even heard about there.
Okay, so how about that you haven't saw? Okay, you were not physically there to see these fights. How about that you haven't saw? That you heard of?
I mean, I knew there was a couple delts that did get into fights, but those were at different places down the street. I'm trying to think. I never really heard anything or saw anything for any issues with girls or anything.
Did the girls ever complain about anybody? Did the girls ever complain about somebody watching them, stalking them, following them, harassing them? Anything like that?
Not that I ever heard. The closest thing to that was there was this weird kind of guy
If he says Winko guy, I'm gonna lose my shit.
walking around the street that looked like he was high off something. I think the police actually did talk to him forever ago. I think he was probably like drunk riding his bicycle and he fell into some car on King Street or something. So I don't know the whole story there, but he was just kind of staying around that area, and I had a friend in a house next to there.
Hang on.
Oh, sorry.
Can't spell bicycle now. You think he was contacted by police?
Well, we did see a police car pull up and talk to him. So they didn't arrest him or take him into custody. So I assume that whatever was going on was relatively harmless. This was probably about a month before everything happened. The only reason I mentioned that is just because I had a friend who's female who lives in a house. It was on the other side of the street of the one I just showed you, Santa's old house. Mm-hmm. She lives over there, and she said that she saw him kind of just out pacing around outside her window, and I just texted her to say, like, hey, do you want me to go over there and kind of check if he's still there? And, like,
what was her name?
Her name was, I believe is her last name.
Do you have her number?
I don't have her phone number. I have her Snapchat.
Was she in a house?
She's a DG.
She phoned you to say this guy's pacing around outside my apartment?
No, I texted her because I saw her outside originally when all the police were out there and everything. And they're out next to the car. So I just texted her to ask if everything was okay, if something happened. And she was like, no, like everything's fine. There's just this kind of weird, basically crackhead looking guy outside. And then she was like, I went inside. And then she was like, he hasn't left. And I was like, okay, well, do you want me to go do something or go get the police back on the phone or call someone we can? And she was like, it should be okay. And then he ended up leaving later.
So he's drunk maybe. He crashes his bicycle into a car. The police come. They make contact with him. And then they leave. And they leave him there. Mm-hmm. And he continues to loiter in the area.
Yeah.
You have a phone call or a snap with her.
Yeah.
And then he finally leaves. And this happened about a month before.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think he still lives there?
I believe.
I wonder if there's a report of this guy, of this interaction, this event where he's talking about here. I wonder if there's a report on that. So that would have happened in October.
He does. I don't know if she'll be living there next semester, but she isn't at a house. It would have been, I think it's one of these like apartments around here. I'm not really sure necessarily what this house is. I've been in there a couple of times, and there's like multiple stories, but each seems like a different apartment.
Okay, so
sure.
For the record, he's pointing out on the map.
Are you fucking kidding me? For the record, he's pointing out on the map, redacted. Wow. That's a long redaction. There we go.
Okay.
So much scribbling. So much scribbling. Oh my God. For nothing. For nothing.
And also on top, or talking about that, I don't think there was necessarily any like malicious intent in what he was doing. Now, obviously, I don't know the guy and I didn't talk to him, but from what I can tell with the police talking to him, and just with him kind of being like not really making much sense, I assume he was just intoxicated or something, and then was out just dinking around, didn't really know what he was doing.
Sure,
but But as far as girls over at Xana's, I never really heard anything about them feeling uncomfortable or people were stalking them or being weird or anything. It was usually a pretty safe and fun environment. Everyone who was there pretty much knew everyone else who usually came over, or at least just saw them around it enough to know who they were, and there was never usually any issues.
Okay, tell me about how would you describe Ethan's personality?
Again, he just fucking told you, bro. He told you in the beginning of this interview his personality. What the fuck is going on here? Actually, like, what the fuck? You're asking this again. Why?
He was just kind of like I said before, he was just very happy.
Exactly. Kind of like how I said before, he was happy-go-lucky. What the fuck? Why are you asking this question again, dude?
Kind of go-lucky guy. When he set his mind to something, he would do it. Didn't really matter what it would be, but he would just kind of hang out, and he was always just kind of a light to whatever kind of room he walked in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just a very, what's the word? Very genial and just very good with people, kind of wherever he went.
Any unusual personal habits of his?
Wow. Are we like, this detective is asking questions? He literally just told you that he takes Adderall and all of this stuff. Why are you asking this again? I'm speechless. Blue, what do you mean 28 new docs today? What the hell? Oh my God. What? Yeah, I've been out of it. Wow, okay.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Did he smoke a pipe?
He told you he smoked marijuana. He told you freaking literally 10 minutes ago that he smoked marijuana and took Adderall and he drank. I just don't know.
Did it belong to some club that you guys didn't belong to?
Oh, gotcha.
So here's the thing. So he has his Greek family, right? And then he has,
Wait.
Did it belong to some club that you guys didn't belong to?
Oh, gotcha.
Like what? A drug club? What type of club are you talking about? Did he belong to some other club that you guys didn't belong to? Like a drug club? I don't know. What is he asking?
So here's the thing. So he has his Greek family, right? And then he has maybe people he goes to class with.
Right?
And then he has his actual family back home.
Right?
And then maybe if he had a summer job, he's got a few people over there he's connected to.
Okay.
So we're basically, the purpose of this is to look for connections to other groups of people, however small that group is, maybe only one person, but a connection he has outside of what we know. So, you know, did he have anything unusual? Did he play any sports? Was he, you know,
Unusual? Playing a sport is not unusual. What are you talking about?
was he involved in a crash? Did he?
Was he involved in a crash? What the fuck is going on here? Was Ethan in that crash that took place in front of around BK's apartment? Was Ethan involved in that crash that happened and that Brian Kohlberger was looking into at midnight? Around this night at midnight. Was he involved in that crash?
You take flying.
Because I really need to know what I'm just dying to know here. I just want to know what the connection is between Brian Kohlberger. That's it. Like, I want to know why Brian Kohlberger was inserted into this case. In my opinion, he was investigating something that happened, and we know for a fact Brian Kohlberger, he tuned in to the Pullman dispatch radio around midnight on the night of the murders. So what crash is this detective speaking about? Now I'm curious.
Lessons. I mean, just random stuff that you'd be like, yeah, that's weird. He did that, but the rest of us didn't.
I mean, he wasn't too eccentric of a person. He played a lot of sports. I think he played basketball and soccer.
Intramural.
Well, up here he played a lot of sports intramural, but for a while back home he used to play soccer. I think him and both played for about like 9 or 11 years or something like that. So, and then he was really good at basketball. He had played that for a while.
So was that like close soccer?
I believe so, but I'm not sure. I just knew that they did. And then, yeah, it was mainly just kind of the top 3, I think. Soccer, football, basketball. He played a lot of video games. I think he used my Xbox more than I used my Xbox when I lived with him.
Did he ever play games with other people that weren't affiliated with the house? Like somebody, like an old friend back home, or?
Usually it was with guys in the house. I think there was a couple times where I'd hop on with them or see him playing with like someone on a gamer tag I didn't know, but I don't know their name. I never asked. I just assumed it was someone he'd either been like squatted up with in the game, like the game putting him into that lobby, or he just a stranger, just some random person, but I didn't really know or care to know, if that makes sense.
Any changes in his personality recently? Any changes in his habits, emotional outbursts?
Not really. I mean, up until everything happened, he seemed like the same person to me.
Okay. We talked about potentially risky behavior, excessive alcohol use, drug use, that sort of thing. What about money? Did he ever have problems with money that you saw? Did he ever need money when he didn't have it?
Not really.
And redacted. Amy, how are you, my love? How you doing, Amy?
But Ethan was never really short on money. If he needed something, he would just text and basically be like, hey, can you put so-and-so amount in my account. I need to go to the grocery store, or tonight's going to be a big weekend. We're having a big party. Can you put some in for me or something like that? But he always had a lot of,
Listen, he said he always had a lot of money if he needed it. Listen to that. That's super important. I said when I listened to Hunter, what's his name? Not Hunter Chapin, the other Hunter Johnson's memorial speech. You can sense the jealousy out of that dude. You can sense his jealousy, and I'm pretty sure he was jealous that Ethan had money. He even brought up the fact that Ethan owed him $30. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, Hunter.
money if he needed it. So money was never really an issue for him.
Did that cause issues with other people in the house?
Yeah, Hunter Johnson, possibly.
Not really. I don't think really many people knew about that.
What? Okay. What the fuck is he trying to say? He said Ethan didn't have problems with money. Anytime he needed money, he had it. The detective is asking, well, did it cause any problems? And he said, I don't think so. Not everyone knew. Think about that. Think about that for a second. What person would hide it? What person would hide it? Do you think Ethan was dealing drugs? I don't know. I'm just speculating here. Because why would he hide it? Right? Why would he hide it?
I know about it because I live with him.
Okay.
And so
I know about it because I live with him. And this is not past tense. This live is not past tense, baby. He says, because I live with him. So was he staying at Ethan's apartment? Were they both in this apartment? Or did Ethan have his own separate apartment? Or were they living together?
hear him on the phone with him, see him do it, etc. But I mean, the people in the house knew that his, but I don't know if they really knew to the extent that
They're talking in codes here. I don't like it. Are they talking about a drug business going on here and that Ethan had money and certain people knew, certain people did not know about it? Is this why the Chapins don't want to make a big deal about this? In my opinion, the Chapins, when this happened, they tried to keep everything sealed, hush hush. You know, it's really sad. It's really sad that your son could possibly have been a drug dealer, right? And that going down that route, you know, going down that route led him to this. As I'm just thinking as a parent, I would also, not every parent's the same, but I guess, you know, certain parents don't want their business out there. Possibly the Chapins did not want anyone to know that, you know what, Ethan was dealing. Ethan was dealing drugs. This part is super important. This part right here of this interview is, I'm just going to play it back without stopping so that we can hear it, because we need to listen to the questions being asked here.
not really. I don't think really many people knew about that.
He said, I don't think many people knew about that. Would you elaborate, please? Please elaborate. What do you mean by that? Right? What exactly is meant by that? Because right now, this conversation we're having at this moment is about Ethan having access to money. So what do you mean by that? Let me back it up because you guys need to hear this. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know what? That's a good point, Edie. That's a very good point.
Really risky behavior, excessive alcohol use, drug use, that sort of thing. What about money? Did he ever have problems with money that you saw? Did he ever need money when he didn't have it?
Not really.
Not really. His redacted? His what? It's redacted for a reason, you guys. This part is very important. I'm sorry. It is. Where are we? 2418.
But Ethan was never really short on money. If he needed something, he would just text and basically be like, hey, can you put so-and-so on my account? And he'd go to the grocery store, or tonight's going to be a big weekend. We're having a big party. Can you put some in for money or something like that? But he always had a lot of money if he needed it. So money was never really an issue for him.
See?
Did that cause issues with other people in the house?
Not really. I don't think really many people knew about that.
See? Many people knew about what? About him having a lot of money?
I knew about it because I lived with him.
Okay.
And so I would hear him on the phone with him, see him do it, etc. But I mean, the people in the house knew that but I don't know if they really knew to the extent that
So money just wasn't an issue.
It wasn't really an issue for him, but he never flaunted it, if that makes sense. It was never like he, had the newest car or something or anything like that, or he was always, trying to show off. I mean, he would offer to, one time he had all his groceries bought and had like $200 left on his grocery card or something, and it needed to be used by the end of that month or it'd go away. So he just offered to buy me $200 worth of groceries because he didn't need anything else. So.
Right. As far as his daily schedule, did he take most of his classes in person? Did he take any classes online, or?
I think most of them were in person. I think he might have had a few online, but he never really went to them. At least when I lived with him.
You didn't go to his classes?
Sometimes he would, but it was kind of rare. He skipped them pretty often. A lot of them weren't mandatory attendance anyway, because they were, massive lecture halls, freshman classes that like English 101 and stuff like that, where a lot of it's just like an online workbook. And I think he had some classes that were just like that, like just basically an online workbook. So you never really had to go to class. But it was rare that I saw him, or not rare, but I'd see him probably go to like 2.
Lucy, welcome. I am so happy to have you.
3, 4 classes a week, not too many. And I don't necessarily know his whole schedule if he was skipping. I know he skipped some, but I don't know to the extent. But he was home a lot of the time when I lived with him. And a lot of the time he'd kind of just blow off schoolwork and classes.
Wow. What was Ethan going through? He seemed to be going through something, right? What's going on? What was going on with Ethan? Was he depressed? Like, what was going on in his life?
He wasn't, at least when I lived with him, he wasn't the best student. That changed after he got, of course, deficient and had to move out of the house. Then he got it back on track, but when I lived with him, yeah. And a lot of the time he'd kind of just blow off schoolwork and classes. He wasn't, at least when I lived with him, he wasn't the best student. That changed after he got, of course, deficient. And
what do you mean divorce? What am I like not listening to this correctly? Divorce, like he was married and Ethan had a divorce? Like, wait, Ethan was married and had a divorce. What? Or does he mean divorce like from a certain subject, divorce from a certain course? Like what?
Had to move out of the house. Then he got it back on track, but when I lived with him, yeah.
Or is that what they call like when you're a frat and they kick you out? Do they call it a divorce? Because that's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. He was I know this one. He was here, let me Google it real quick. He was majoring in recreation, sport, and tourism management. Hey, you guys. Blue, I hear you chatting in there about a doc drop. Are there any crime scene photos or just documents? Let me know, please. Thank you. All right, let's continue.
Who would you say that his top 3 best friends are?
Would you count Xana as one of those, being a girlfriend, or would you ask for someone else?
No, just guys.
Okay. I'd say probably number 1. I can help you spell that if you need to.
He said, I'd say number 1, and he says a name, right? It's obviously redacted, obviously. But what's interesting here is he says, I can spell it if you want me to. So I'm going to take this as it's a difficult name to spell, okay? That Ethan's best friend, it's a name that it's difficult to spell.
Let's see. Even though he was I would say one of his best friends. And then I'm trying to think of other guys in the house. Probably Joe. He doesn't go here anymore.
Okay, the third guy is someone that begins with the letter J. I hear J. And his second best friend, it sounds like it could be his brother, from what I picked up. Let's continue. And we're redacted. No, this is not Kai. This is
So now he's gonna actually come back next year, but he's
Conrad.
had to spend this entire year working so he can pay for it. But
so this part of it is also redacted. Whatever it is, it's important. Obviously, there's something that
even though he was I would say his one.
See, even though it's his brother, I would say he's one of his best friends.
One of his best friends. And then I'm trying to think of other guys in the house. Probably
J person, right?
He doesn't go here anymore.
He doesn't go here anymore. Now, after this, it's redacted. Are they talking about the Joe character or something? Possibly this Joe character was kicked out.
So now he's gonna actually come back next year, but
See, they're talking about the Joe character. So now he's going to actually come back next year, but he's had to spend
this entire year working so he can pay for it.
Okay, so this Joe character, which is Ethan's number 3 best friend, something happened, an incident occurred, and he was kicked out, and he said he's going to return again. Okay, let's continue.
But yeah, Ethan and were very, very close, and still were, even with Joe not here. Like they would text him all the time. Yeah.
So this is going to sound like a very formal question, and it is, but it's actually worded pretty well to cover what I'm asking, so I'm just going to read it. Inquire as to any instance where the victim ever discussed or displayed fear, concern, or discomfort about a particular person or situation.
Not really. I don't think he was ever scared, angry, disgusted about really anything.
You know, Ethan seems like such a cool dude, man. He seems like such a cool dude from all accounts. Ethan was outgoing. Ethan was never angry. Hunter Johnson says, you can never make Ethan angry. Hunter Johnson tried. It seems like Hunter Johnson tried. He said, you can't even make him angry. They say the good die young, and it's true. He was probably a gentle soul, but here we are.
It was very rare that I saw Ethan in a negative, emotional sort of mindset. He was always just kind of happy, and if something bad happened, it was always kind of like, well, what can you do? You just move on and do better kind of thing. But yeah, there was never...
It's really sad to hear that. It's really sad to hear that this happened to such a gentle soul.
I never noticed any distress or issues like that.
Was there anyone with whom Ethan did not get along or he tried to avoid because they just didn't get along with each other?
I think maybe just some of the delts. I don't know if I necessarily know names in specific, because if Ethan didn't like you, he just wouldn't really hang around, so I never really saw those people. And we would always, when we lived in, we would have people over in our apartment a lot. And so, yeah, I mean, all the people who showed up were friends with Ethan. So those are the people that I really saw around him. I never really saw anyone that he...
Besides Xana, did any girls take a romantic interest in him?
Not to the extent of Xana. He didn't...
What? That wasn't a no answer. That's not good. That's not good, because it wasn't a simply no answer. Let's listen.
Date anyone other than Xana up here. I'm trying to think. I mean, there was a good chunk of girls that I would hear talk about how he was cute or something, or they'd come up to me and say, hey, you know, your roommate's kind of cute or something, that kind of stuff. No one really ever went super far and acted on it.
Nobody with a pissed off boyfriend?
No. Anyone who was ever interested in him like that was always single, from my knowledge.
That detective was quick to ask. No one with a pissed off boyfriends, huh?
But yeah, no one that I knew that was in a relationship or had something like that to where they were like either actually interested in or like seeming like they were being flirty or interested in him, even if they weren't. I never really saw that, especially because of Xana. She was very well respected, and both of them were. So,
do you know if you ever cheated on Xana?
No. I mean, I don't know, but but from what I do know and seeing them together all the time, no, and I don't believe that he ever would.
Okay.
Especially living with him and knowing who he is.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
how did you ever see him like interact with other guys that were out of the house that he didn't know, that were strangers?
Interact with other guys out of the house that I didn't know or that he didn't know?
Well, like for instance, in Rush, how was he around meeting people for the first time, and was he socially awkward, or did he get along really easily with people?
Super easily. He was actually, him and Hunter, I think, were the most bid on ever at U of I, or something like that. Or in the last like 10 years, it was crazy. They got more bids than, like, there were houses that they told no and still got bids from. Because, yeah, on the final day, it was like you could only get 5, like a maximum of 5. And I think got something like 7 or 8. So they were, I think, when I had a friend who was in IFC, and I was just talking to him about how Rush went, and he was saying that and Ethan were like top 5 kids through Rush. So, and that was out of like 200.
Wow.
So yeah, very, very good with other people.
Was there anybody at Sigma Chi that started with your pledge class and then for some reason got kicked out?
No, there was a member who just left. His name's
I think he's talking about Jack Showalter. And I think Jack Showalter got kicked out. Jack Showalter didn't just leave. So this is a lie.
he had that just graduated also in Sigma Chi. But he just left because he just didn't like the scene up here. There was never anyone in RPC that got kicked out.
Anyone that might hold some resentment towards Sigma Chi, feel like they were slighted by Sigma Chi?
I keep saying Sigma Chi. Sigma Chi.
The only thing I could think of, which I don't think they would feel this way, but this is the closest to that we have, was there's a kid that got too touchy with a girl one night, and it was unconsensual, and we found out about it from the girl, and then we kicked him out.
So basically raped her. It was unconsensual. Wow, these behaviors. Wow, that's not good.
The next day.
When did that happen?
I believe it wasn't this semester, it was this last semester, I believe.
Was he a Sigma Chi?
Yeah, he was.
Wait, could this be Jack Showalter? I know someone in chat knows for sure. So I know Jack Showalter was kicked out. Was this him? Did he like rape some freaking girl?
He was
kicked out as in you have to live somewhere else, or kicked out as in you're no longer Sigma Chi kicked out?
No longer Sigma Chi.
Amy, that's what I thought, Amy. I thought that he got kicked out due to anger issues. What the fuck you mean raping a girl? Did you just hear what he said? Not consensual. That's fucking crazy and disgusting.
And then I believe he moved back to Boise.
He moved back to Boise. This is him. This is, I mean, in my opinion, I'm speculating here, but it's a fair speculation. This sounds like Jack Showalter. And if so, he's disgusting. Listen to this. Let me back it up, because what he did is not. Here we go.
There was a member who just left.
That's not him.
His name's
okay.
We
don't know. And you know what? I blame Moscow. You know what? I blame you. I blame you, Moscow. Unredact this shit so we know who the fuck we're talking about. Unredact this shit.
That just graduated also in Sigma Chi. But he just left because he just didn't like the scene up here. There was never anyone in RPC that got kicked out.
Anyone that might hold some resentment towards Sigma Chi, feel like they were slighted by Sigma Chi?
The only thing I could think of, which I don't think they would feel this way, but this is the closest to that we have, was there's a kid that got too touchy with a girl one night, and it was.
He got too touchy with a girl one night, and it was unconsensual. I mean, I wouldn't say rape. That's the wrong word. I should not have said rape. But touchy with a girl, and the girl didn't want it. Come on.
Unconsensual, and we found out about it from the girl, and then we kicked him out the next day.
When did that happen?
I believe it wasn't this semester, it was this last semester, I believe.
Was he a Sigma Chi?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
He was
kicked out as in you have to.
Okay, I take it back. It wasn't Jack Showalter. Regardless, whoever this was, Come on, straighten the fuck up.
Live somewhere else or kicked out as in you're no longer Sigma Chi kicked out?
No longer Sigma Chi. Yeah. And then I believe he moved back to Boise.
He clearly said Boise. He moved back to Boise. That's what made me think it was Jack, because we know
Was
Jack
the
is
girl
Boise.
an AFI or a Pi-Phi?
She was a Pi-Phi.
She was a Pi-Phi.
Was she connected with any of the Pi-Phis in 1122?
Sorry, is 1122
The homicide house.
Okay. Yes, she was very close with Xana and Ethan both. And I believe Maddie as well, but I didn't see them together as much.
Okay, so
But she was very
this
close
girl,
with Xana.
so this girl who was improperly touched, was very close with Xana. We need to figure out who that is.
Her name was
Oh,
Thomas, Xana, and Ethan both.
he gives it to us.
And
An L.
I believe Maddie as well, but I didn't see them together as much. But she was very close with Xana. Her name was
Starts with an L.
Thomas.
L. Thomas. Okay.
And
he went back to
from what I heard, yeah. I think that's how you spell his name.
Do you know where the assault occurred?
With
Yeah.
I believe it was in a Sigma Chi, yeah.
The assault occurred in Sigma Chi. Check that out. Wow.
At that time when that happened, were you guys was Ethan and Xana and you guys, were you going over to the area?
So this is interesting because the detective is saying, well, at that time that it happened, that incident happened, right? Why is that incident so important to this investigation now? Why is this detective asking questions related to this incident? Why is it relevant?
Were you going over to the area and hanging out over here?
Because he
When
said,
the assault happened?
Yeah.
watch, listen.
At that time when that happened,
When the assault happened,
were you guys was Ethan and Xana and you guys, were you going over to the area?
in other words, when that assault happens, were you at the Sigma Chi house? Is what he's asking. Let's see what he says.
Were you going over to the area and hanging out over here?
When the assault happened?
Yeah. I don't mean that night. I just mean in general.
Oh.
Had you started to go party at these off-campus houses at that point?
In like sorry, I don't understand the question.
The semester when this happened.
Okay.
And, and when was this?
I'm not 100% sure on the date. I think it was early second semester.
Of this year?
Of last year.
Of last year.
Of last year. It didn't happen this semester.
You just said it happens last semester. Now is this kid like, oh shit, now I got to change my story because this detective is looking into this. But you just said it was last semester. Okay. When was he interviewed? He was interviewed in December. Okay, so last semester. is still 2022. What are you talking about last year? No, something's wrong here. It didn't happen this semester. It happened last semester. Last semester would still be 2022, not 2021. So something's wrong here. Something's off.
I'm not 100% sure on the date. I think it was early second semester
Of this year?
of last year.
Of last year.
Of last year. Not, it didn't happen this semester.
That doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. This part doesn't make sense. It really doesn't.
Would know exactly when that happened, I believe. I'm sure. I assume you've talked to.
We talk on the phone
Oh,
frequently.
Yeah.
oh. So this cop talks to this L. Thomas person frequently. Whoever was assaulted, this officer frequently speaks to them. Interesting.
What about this?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, so early second semester of last year, were Sigma Chi's regularly coming to off-campus parties over here?
Yeah. That would have been back when she lived at this house. She called it. And
Okay.
yeah, we would. It was pretty often. Ethan was usually over there because I believe at that point Xana and him weren't officially dating, but they had just
Was going
Okay.
over there too to parties?
This girl
No.
he's talking about, you guys, this chick that was assaulted lived at 1122. She lived at 1122. Yes, sir, she did. Yes, sir. This is what they're telling us right here. When she lived at this house. Yep. Okay.
you've talked to.
We talk on the phone frequently.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about this?
Yeah.
Yes, Lucy. I'm on to it. I'm catching on, baby. I'm catching on. She lived there.
So what I'm saying is, so early second semester of last year, were Sigma Chi's regularly coming to off-campus parties over here?
Yeah. That would have been back when she lived at this house. She called it. And
Okay.
yeah, we would. It was pretty often. Ethan was usually over there because I believe at that point Xana and him weren't officially dating, but they had just
Was going over there too to parties?
no, never really came over there, at least that I knew of. He was, and he kind of just stuck more with that kind of crowd of his. Didn't like when there was a party going on at Sigma Chi, he would come over because there was a party going on at Sigma Chi, but he wouldn't go out of his way to go to like other parties. If like the Sigs were going off campus to some other house, he wouldn't join us there. He wasn't a great member anyway. He kind of only showed up when we were doing an event or something.
How would you characterize his personality? Is he confrontational,
He's talking about Hunter Chapin now. Okay.
violent, angry,
I mean,
friendly?
not friendly. Well, I mean, he's kind of friendly, but he's the kind of guy who is just a drunken idiot. Like, he gets drunk, you can't talk to him, doesn't matter what you tell him, he might get aggressive with you. He doesn't really, at least from what I can tell, never really meant any ill will by it, but was just kind of like a, get the hell away from me. Who do you think you are? Like, kind of arrogant.
That's
Do you think
super
he
interesting.
resents Sigma Chi for kicking him out
Oh, wait, no.
to the point where he
Wait a second. No, they're not talking about Hunter Chapin. I'm so sorry for getting these mixed up. I'm blaming Moscow again, motherfucker. Unredact this shit so we can know who the fuck you're talking about.
might want to do something to hurt Sigma Chi?
I don't think so. Just a drunken idiot. Like, he gets drunk, you can't talk to him, doesn't matter what you tell him, he might get aggressive with you. He doesn't really, at least from what I can tell, never really meant any ill will by it, but was just kind of like a get the hell away from me. Who do you think you are? Like, kind of arrogant.
Do you think he resents Sigma Chi for kicking him out? To the point where he might want to do something to hurt Sigma Chi?
I don't think so. So he didn't remember the incident. He was blacked out. Still doesn't remember it happening. It would have been, it was our, I believe I talked to him about it. And
Okay, so we're still talking about the dude and the incident. Why is this important?
And said that someone talked to him about it and said that he felt extremely terrible, had no idea that he was even capable of something like that, was really, really going through a lot of hard stuff and issues, and felt, terrible about that. So, I mean, despite him being somewhat arrogant and kind of rude and abrasive when you kind of meet him, he was someone that understood, like, his own pitfalls, I guess, and, had empathy and felt sorry for them. I personally don't think that he would try and get back at us because he already felt so terrible about what he did.
But who cares about Sigma Chi? Who the fuck cares about anyone getting back at Sigma Chi? Like, the way these detectives are asking these questions are fucking ridiculous. Who the fuck cares getting back at Sigma Chi? 4 people were actually murdered. 4 students were brutally killed and murdered. And you're fucking talking about getting back at Sigma Chi. What the fuck?
Do you object to being removed from membership?
No. So I don't know if he was able to object from being removed from membership. But he said, I think what he said, because he had written something and they read it for us before a chapter, and it was something along the lines of, I understand these, like, my actions are terrible, and whatever the house decides as my punishment is, I'll be accepting of.
Did he attend chapter after the incident?
No.
Was he not invited to attend chapter after the incident?
He was. He chose not to. Because he felt very bad and embarrassed, obviously, about it.
So if he wanted to, he could go address the house, and he chose not to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
I think he left it with just a letter as his addressing of the house because he really had nothing to say.
Okay. If I already asked you this, sorry. Is there anyone with whom Ethan did not get along with or experience conflict? And your answer to that is you don't know. Sorry if I'm paraphrasing. You don't know, but if there was, he wouldn't have been around him anyway.
Yeah, basically, he didn't spend time around people he didn't like.
Okay. Reputation. Strangers. Did he have a job of any kind or any source of making money while he was at school?
No, it was just his parents.
Past employment, are you aware if he had a job in the past summer?
Yeah, he used to work over, I think this most recent summer, he worked in.
I think, was that the fields he worked in? I remember seeing, like, they named a tulip after Ethan, and wow, this is redacted a lot. I wonder if that's what he's talking about.
I'm not 100% sure. I know that he. And then prior to that, he had worked at a flower shop.
Oh, okay. That's
in Mount Vernon.
Okay.
The tulip fields?
I believe
Tulip
so, yeah.
fields. Okay, there it is. Yes. Kane.
Did he spend any time away from campus or associate with any other individuals from other universities besides U of I?
Not spending time away from campus. What do you mean by that?
I don't know. Did he have something that took him away from campus where he'd have a Bible study on Wednesdays or something like that?
No,
or maybe a book club he went to, or
he wasn't really involved in anything that wasn't kind of through our house, university, etc. Like the only thing that I could think of would be intramurals, but that was obviously through us. He wasn't in any clubs or anything like that.
Okay. So did he attend any of his classes at WSU?
No.
Do you guys still do that?
I don't think so.
So when I was here, one of my majors was criminal justice, and U of I had a really terrible criminal justice program at the time.
It still does. Clearly, you didn't get the proper education and training. Even Brian Kohlberger thinks so.
And WSU had a pretty good one. So I could sign up for a class, a U of I class, and I wouldn't know that it was a WSU class until I looked at the location and I realized, that's it.
That's the thing. Some students were taking classes at WSU. That's another rabbit hole. We need to know which students could have been in contact with Brian, right? Like, I'm just here trying to find the connection, you guys.
To campus.
That's what Wazoo.
Okay.
And then they did the same thing. They'd send people over here for like our ag research programs and stuff.
Yeah, no, he never did that. He never took anything through Washington State.
Tell me about his cell phone use. Was he the kind of person who was always on his phone?
He was on his phone a lot.
What apps did he use the most?
I think mainly just social media apps, like TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram. But yeah, I mean, he just kind of go on it to be lazy and waste time, and we just do that pretty often.
Did he have a lot of followers?
Not sure.
Did you engage in that also? Were you like Snapchat and Instagram friends and all that?
Yeah, friends on Snapchat and Instagram. Snapchat's how I would text him. It's rare that I would use just my phone app to text people. I just don't have as many phone numbers. I usually just get Snapchats. And so, yeah, that's how we would communicate. I would be on Snapchat, and then we didn't really communicate on Instagram at all, though. I just followed him and, would see what he posts. And then I don't have TikTok, but.
It's good because it's a big time waster.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's the reason I refuse to get it, because I know if I do, I'll just sit on it for 3 hours straight.
Where did he eat?
Like, just normally, dinner, just at the apartment.
You go get groceries, bring back, and you guys just have your own little divided areas, and he make his own food there.
Because we don't have a chef. I'm sure you knew that. But yeah, he would just get stuff.
We don't have a chef. Who has a chef then? Because this is weird. What do you mean you don't have a chef? Like, why would he say we don't have a chef? Clearly, you're a student. You wouldn't have a chef unless you're someone famous, or I don't know. That's weird. Why did he say we don't have a chef? Clearly, I mean, I know you're a student. You wouldn't have one. So I'm not understanding this. Did some students actually have chefs? Because that would be very interesting. Did some student have someone that would cook their meals? Like, I'm interested about that now, because this comment is super weird. Listen.
Like, just normally, dinner, just at the apartment.
Also, you got to think about, why is the cop asking these questions? Why is the detective asking these questions? Like, where would you eat and stuff like that? Like, now I'm curious. Let's go.
You go get groceries, bring back, and you guys just have your own little divided areas, and he make his own food there.
Because we don't have a chef. I'm sure you knew that. But yeah, he would just
listen. We don't have
you go get groceries, bring back, and you guys just have your own little divided areas, and he make his own food there.
Because we don't have a chef. I'm sure you knew that.
I knew you knew that.
But
he said,
yeah, he would just.
He said,
where did he eat?
Sorry, I'm repeating this.
Just.
Sorry, I'm repeating this, but it could be important. We don't know.
Normally, dinner, just at the apartment.
You go get groceries, bring back, and you guys just have your own little divided areas, and he make his own food there.
Because we don't have a chef.
He said we don't have a chef. I know you knew that. I know you knew that. He tells the officer, you knew that, right? That we don't have a chef. But yeah, duh, like who does? Who really does? Huh?
I'm sure you knew that. But yeah, he would just get stuff and eat at the house.
Oh shit. There it is. Blue. Man, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Like, I'm just learning from y'all. I'm honestly learning from y'all. Stop playing with me. Some fratty sororities have chefs prepare meals. Do we know who? Was Enan one of the chefs? Chef Dizzy? Was Enan one of those? Or the guy that cut his hand, the chicken guy? Was he one of those chefs? Or was it the other kids who were interviewed that worked at Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever the fuck? Were they one of the chefs? Like, who are these people now? That's crazy. Wow. You see, I didn't even know this, you guys. And look how much you could pick up from an interview. That's interesting, huh? How quickly you could pick up little things just by their responses, just by his response. I was like, wait a second. Now, why would he say that?
He usually just ate a lot of mini corn dogs and Diet Coke. He didn't have the best diet, but.
Okay. The way he spent his time, as far as you know, in the last few months, where he's coming over to the house, I understand he goes down to apartment 10, plays games with a lot, goes over, stays at Xana's a lot, goes to class, I suppose, sometimes.
Yep.
Any changes in that behavior from him on his daily routine that you've noticed?
No, I mean, I think he actually had gotten better about going to class this most recent semester.
Right.
So that would be the only change from what it was before of him not going to class, but he would still come over, text me, say, hey, can you give me a ride to so-and-so class that's on the other side of campus because you don't want to walk, and so I'd give him a ride and then pick him back up.
Why didn't he use his own cars?
I think a lot of the time, I'm not 100% sure, but I think a lot of the time it was like someone had blocked him in because he used to park at Xana's, and there was like 4 or 5 different cars there. And every once in a while when I would drive by, I'd see his Jeep blocked in. So I just assumed that was the reason. I didn't really ask, but there was also like no parking at the area where he was going, so he wouldn't really be able to leave his car anywhere if he did, because it was a class where they would, I forget what class it was, but they would like meet at areas like the industrial building around campus, and then they would like walk to like an agricultural field or like someplace like Wazoo or something, or bus there or something. So he wouldn't be able to really like leave his car anywhere because he didn't have a parking pass. So I assume that's why he had me give him rides. But yeah, I mean, after that, he would come back and do the same thing. He'd get on, start gaming for a bit, then, you know, make some food, get up, start drinking, go hang out with Xana, come back here, hang out with the guys.
Not once do I hear any of these students' interviews about studying. You don't see books, you don't see a desk, you don't see none of that. You don't hear these students talking about studying or something, like a project or something. It's just fucking weird, man. Like, you're really paying all this money in education. Well, their parents are paying all this money to what? Just go hang out? What the man? Kids, I tell you.
Okay. What things? Where were you when you heard this had happened?
I was at the Whites.
Whose apartment is that?
It's who's a Sigma Chi, who's a Sigma Chi, and Garland who's a Pi Phi.
Who are the 2 Sigma Chi's?
And they're both seniors, and I've known them for Chris. And then I met up here.
Okay. And who told you? Who is?
He's also a Sigma Chi.
Is it older brother? Or, no, this is David Barrage. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Niall Goraga. He's a Sigma Chi.
How did he find out about it?
I can't remember exactly how he found
Hang on. I think this is important because let's remember, you
up
guys.
here.
Okay.
He didn't have a parking pass. So I assume that's why he had me give him rides.
Okay, I think this part
Who's
coming
part?
up, I think this part coming up is important. Let's not forget, right? Let's not forget Conrad. Conrad was Conrad, Kai Davis, Colby Pugh, Hunter Johnson. These four, remember, like, we have to remember that they were out there. They were at the grub truck. Kai Davis was number 8. He was wearing that jersey. Colby, number 9, wearing a jersey. They're from the grub truck. Conrad Harrison, I believe you can hear him in the Linda Lane, but that's all speculation. So this is why this guy here is important. His account is important. So this part here, we want to listen to what he's saying here because this is when he found out about the murders. Okay, so let's hear it. Let's see. Where was he when he found out and everything, right?
What is that?
It's who's a Sigma Chi, who's a Sigma Chi, and Grunley who's a Pi Phi.
Who are the two Sigma Chi's?
And they're both seniors, and I've known them. Who's a Sigma Chi, and Grunley who's a Pi Phi.
Who are the two Sigma Chi's?
The two Sigma Chi's are Colby. We saw Colby on the dean list, right? And Chris?
They're both seniors, and I've known them for no Chris. And then I met up here.
Okay. And who told you? Who is?
He's also a Sigma Chi.
Is it older brother? Or, no, this is David Berriage. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not Elgar Raga. He's a Sigma Chi.
How did he find out about it?
I can't remember exactly how he found out. I think it was an extension of being friends with him.
Ethan get along with David?
Yeah, he did.
So, when you found out about it, what did you think? What was your reaction?
Well, at first I didn't believe it because, well, to give a little background, I had originally heard, we were just watching football because it was football Sunday. We were just over there watching football. And I had seen the message that said they're investigating a homicide on King Street. And I assumed one person at first. And then I saw that it was, or heard that it was more people. And then I started texting people to see if they're okay. I texted Ethan and Xana. And then, because I knew that they were, obviously Xana lived there, Ethan was there a lot, and I was there a lot too. And then I found out that it was 4 people. And originally I'd assumed it was some sort of like freak accident, like Adele got drunk, belligerent, and, got in an altercation, someone smashed a bottle on their head, and, somehow they just died or something like that,
right.
Is what I thought.
Right.
And then came in and he was like, "Did you hear what happened?" And I was like, "Yeah, 4 people, like, it's just crazy." And he goes, "No, Ethan and Xana." And then I just kind of didn't really know what to say. I just kind of sat there for a while.
I mean, this is a month in. This is your roommate. This is your literal roommate, Ethan, your roommate. No emotion. No emotion whatsoever from this guy. Ethan was your roommate. I don't know.
And originally I had to just sit.
And the way he says, I found out the 4 people. 4 people. You're distancing yourself. It's not just 4 people. There were friends you partied with. You're not even saying their names, bro. Like you're not even saying their name. Oh, they're just 4 people now. They're just 4 people. This part is weird. The way he's saying it, it's weird. Very like disconnected. Disconnected.
Saw that it was, or heard that it was more people. And then
I heard it. Amy, I heard it. He said dealt. Why? Why? Why would you think? Why would you assume? Why would you immediately speculate a dealt? You have to ask yourself that. Why did he think it was a dealt that got out of line? Right? Let me play it again. Yes,
homicide on
caught
King
it.
Street, and I assumed one person at first, and then I saw that it was, or heard that it was more people, and then I started.
Bro, I'm gonna start taking courses in linguistics because I think I have a gift. I think I have a fucking gift. I'm sorry, I don't mean to toot my own horn sometimes. I know people hate the confidence. You know, people don't like when you're confident and stuff, but I'm going to say it. This guy, the way he is explaining this tragic event. You just found out your roommate was slaughtered and murdered along with your friends because you claim to have partied with them, right? But the way he is telling the story, it seems disconnected. He's not even referring to them. Hey, baby, honey bunny. He's not even referring to them as by their name. He's saying people. People. Listen to this.
Texting people to see if they're okay. I texted Ethan and
Look, I started texting people.
Xana.
Now he says Ethan and Xana. Watch.
And then, because I knew that they were, obviously Xana lived there, Ethan was there a lot, and
Okay.
he was there a lot too.
Okay.
And then I found out that it was 4 people.
4 people. I found out it was 4 people. Like the Ethan and Xana was not enough. So the Ethan and Xana was not enough to like. But then I found out it was 4 people. I found out it was 4 people. Again, people.
And originally I'd assumed it was some sort of like freak accident, like Adele got drunk, belligerent, and got in an altercation. Someone smashed a bottle on their head, and somehow they just.
We have to look into Jack Showalter's second interview. Amy. In my opinion, but hello, welcome.
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. I love the pups.
Thank you.
I don't think anybody's hating on you for your natural talents. You definitely are bilingually, linguistically gifted.
Yeah. That's hilarious. What do you think about this interview so far?
I'm right with you. He's very everybody. Here's the thing though. I've had a lot of, I hated some of my roommates. I couldn't stand them. even though they were my friends going in, you find out who people are when you fight with them, when you loan them money, and when you get drunk with them. And when you live with them, that's a whole nother thing. You see all sides. And so, I don't know. It seems to me that the cops are more interested. They keep claiming that I called you StreamYard.
Well, you did, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I know how tough it is when you're like, when you have the spotlight on you.
Yeah, that was especially.
I made you nervous. It's okay, Kane. I made you nervous.
That was a special. Anyway, now I'm nervous now. 100% that there is some type of, you would almost expect to hear, like, if you said, oh well, it was Ethan, oh well, it was Xana, and if there was some type of inflection on one of the victims' names, but he's just calling them the four or whatever.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit more. We're almost done with this.
Just died or something like that, is what I thought. Right. And then came in and he was like, "Did you hear what happened?" And I was like, "Yeah, 4 people." Like,
there you go again with the 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 4 people. Like, this is crazy. How about my roommate, dude? How about my roommate? It's Ethan. It's Xana. How about that reaction?
Yeah, how close are you to this tragedy, really?
It's just crazy. And he goes, "No, Ethan and Xana." And then I just kind of didn't really know what to say. I just kind of sat there for a while. And then it kind of really hit me when I had to call my mom and tell her. And then when I had to...
Oh, so it didn't hit you until you had to call your mom and realize this is a reality now. Like, hold on, now we have a problem. What are you drinking there?
I got my iced coffee.
Okay. You're going to have a long night or what?
Scully's going to make me go live. So if you'd like to join us later, once you break from all this and get the dogs all set. I got some... what are these? Oh, these are the Do-si-dos. I think they're the best Girl Scout cookie there is.
Oh, are those the caramel ones?
They're peanut butter.
Oh no, I don't know about those.
You don't like peanut butter?
No, I do, but they're not my favorite Girl Scout cookies. What about the Samoyas? You don't like the Samoyas?
Samoyas are okay. When you start talking about tag-alongs and all this goopy stuff, you're just putting on a cracker.
Yeah.
It's not quite. This is a cookie. Let me show you. This is how a cookie is made. You have 2 crackers, 2 biscuits, as they call them in Spanish, and then you put some delicious filling in between, and then you wash it down with your iced coffee.
Oh, I gotta try that. Okay, so yeah, let me finish this up and then we'll keep it moving here.
and tell them as well. There's another Sigma Chi who's in my PC, and was the one I mentioned earlier, who was really good friends with Ethan. And neither of them live up here right now, so that's why I called them.
Okay, so he called one of Ethan's very good friends and his parents to let them know. Okay.
So after you understood the full facts that these 4 in that location had been murdered with a knife, what did you think? Who did you think did it? What do you think the motive was, the circumstances were around it?
I really don't have any idea. There's not a single person who I could peg as wanting to hurt Ethan or Xana. Obviously, I didn't know the other 2 very well. And yeah, I heard that it was a targeted attack. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you questions about a thing, but I wouldn't have assumed it was targeted towards Ethan. My assumption is that he was just collateral being there, and especially being as big of a man as he is. He's a threat, whether he has a weapon or not. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I assumed with that he wasn't, intended to be killed, but obviously I don't know the case. And and I'm only working off of just the information I've heard.
Sure.
But
Okay, sure.
yeah, it still doesn't make sense to me.
So of the circles of friends that Ethan was, so big circle up here, the Greek system, the university at large, versus some random stranger, do you think that it's somebody in the Greek system? Do you think it's somebody outside the Greek system?
I think it would have to be someone inside the Greek system.
Why?
What do you think about that? Wow.
I think that it's a no-brainer that it's somebody within the Greek system. What's the date of this interview again? This is
December, but yeah, isn't he like, so he's a frat. So he's basically calling out his brother or his other frat, whatever, brothers. Right?
Well, I mean, he's saying within the Greek system, you're only brothers with the people in your fraternity. The other people are the enemy.
Okay. So he could be, in a sense, pointing at other frats.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him that he's saying it's somebody within their own crazy frat.
To take attention from him, or
no, I mean, because it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the inner workings of this thing is just so weird, because you have this judge who's a wackadoodle chicanery nut and prances around in little white dresses, according to my thumbnails. And then you have him saying that people couldn't be involved because they weren't driving the car. But at the same time, you have actual crime scene footage of footsteps walking away back towards Frat Row in the snow the day of the crime. You have somebody that felt comfortable enough to not only commit this heinous act, but to pose the bodies and to clean up and to somehow terrify or scare or silence the two remaining witnesses, or involve them.
Yeah.
So it's, you have that, and then with the 8 hours delay in calling, it's 100%, because when something goes wrong, whether you're involved or not, you call the sorority or fraternity hotline, the 1-800 number. And Dylan, I think she even said it, like something about the hotline, whatever. You have to, even though they say, oh, if it's unaliving, then call the police first. But they're like, I'm not so sure. They've got them so scared because they've got these kids committing, homosexual acts, eating stuff that is absent. You know what I mean? They have this blackmail on them. That the funny thing is the parents pretty much went through the same thing, and then they went ahead and they sent their kids through it. So you have to kind of gauge, if you're sending your kid into this environment, what's the benefit? The benefit in the long run to these people has to outweigh the detriment.
Yeah. Well, the benefits are in society. You get to be a judge. You get to be, you have a clear lane. You have a sweet, clear lane for you to succeed in this society, in this community. I see the benefit, but wow.
Yeah, I mean, you're a handshake away from a good job, which is 90% of what life is, right? You get the bigger cubicle, you get the bigger house, you get the nicer car.
Yeah.
This is also going on a bit of conjecture because I don't know.
That's what I'm asking. I'm asking you to speculate right now. So speculate away.
Just thinking in my own mind, their front door had a code and would lock if it was closed. Mm-hmm. So someone would have either had to be there enough to know the code.
Well, I don't know if caught my last live, but there was an interview conducted, I think it was Lakeland. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm kidding you. The body cam, the canvassing that morning, there was a young lady that said, when she went to pick up her McDonald's, it was around 5, 6-ish on the 11th, November 11th, the day before the murders. I'm sorry, the day of the murders. When she went to get her McDonald's around that time, 6-ish, right? There were two guys outside of 1122 King. And she said, it caught me off guard. I thought it was weird because I've never seen anything like that. And they were calling someone to be let in. So there were two individuals, I don't know who, trying to get in to their house. And I'm assuming those two would not have a code unless they changed the code on them. You know what I mean? I thought that was interesting. She specifically said two guys.
At what time? Did you catch what time?
I can play that after this. I'll play the body cam. It's quick. All right, let me continue.
Granted, there was also the back sliding glass door, which isn't probably much of an issue to break into, but I don't know where they did break into, or if they did break in at all. So they would either have had to know the code, which was not something they shared often. I didn't even know the code, and I was there a lot. So they would either have to know the code, or if they didn't know the code and didn't break in, then they would have to be someone that was there often enough for it to not seem weird, you know? Because I mean, they would have big parties there where I would see people that I didn't know. But if there was just some random stranger there that no one knew, like, it would raise some red flags. Someone would be like, hey, who's this guy over here or something? Or
I don't know, but let me stop it because now I can't get that out of my mind. So let's go there. If you don't mind, I'm going to show you that. Hang on a second. Yeah? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I did catch most of your live the other day, but like I got to the point where you were talking about the tire tracks. And then I think Scully probably started annoying me and I had to do stuff.
No worries. We'll blame it on Scully. Okay, it's this one. Let me share my screen.
The police think it's a targeted attack. She did say she believes the kids in the house were targeted as opposed to the house itself. She also
Kane, can you hear that, Kane? Kane, can you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay.
No, it's fine.
Sure.
Kitchen slider door is wide open.
Okay, so this is when they first come in, right? That's opened. Dylan said she saw the man leave out the slider door, right? Okay.
And Hunter.
Hi, John. Yeah, the police chief, including the police chief himself, back into that crime scene to try and gather the process and also another. No arrest yet. Just because someone's been cleared right now, does that mean they might be re-interviewed?
Here it is.
Many hours.
Or dead inside.
Hi. Sure.
So last night, I left to go get food and come back. And when I left, I'm guessing it's probably that house right over there that you guys are kind of looking at, or I don't know if it is, but there is like right where the other drive up is. That's where I parked my car. At the bottom part of that apartment, there's these two guys asking to be let in. It's like, hey, I'm here. Can you let me in?
Gotcha.
And then when I was driving away, that they were walking away from the building.
Okay.
So they didn't get in, but like they were calling someone to let them in for some reason.
Okay.
And that was a little strange, and so I don't know if that helps at all.
Do you recall what time that was?
I can look it up real quick. I
Sure.
have it on my phone because I ordered it through the Dolls app, so I can kind of look up the approximate time when I left.
Yeah, that'd be great. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I was doing laundry, and so I was all over the place, so I don't remember too much, but let's see if this one works.
So she's going to pull up the time.
And would that have been the first house on the left down here, or that?
Just the first one, like the closest one here. I just saw because I was looking down. I was looking down because I was walking up to my car because it was on that slant.
Yep.
And so I looked down and I saw them, and I was like, "That's kind of freaking weird."
I mean,
and so
she says it, even the way she says it, she's like, "That's kind of freaking weird."
What's your what's your takeaway on her inflection, on her kind of truth telling voice? It's like you have real speech with this interview. There, I had a roommate, they died.
Right.
I called their parents. Bebop, whoa, I'm a zombie. It's like, but this girl's like, yeah, dude, cop, get over here. I don't usually talk to cops. I got blue hair or whatever, and I'm going to tell you that somebody was trying to get into that house. I don't know if that's the one, but I saw some shit. Okay, yeah, ma'am, thank you very much. You're going to pass away in a one-car accident in a month from now. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Urgency. Like, hold on, I remember something, but these other people are not. They're not in the same urgency. But let me listen to the time.
Oh,
here.
These instances. Yes.
Like, she's really trying. You know, she's really trying to help.
Yesterday.
And they would have been at that kind of lower door right in front of the parking lot then.
Yeah, that lower door.
So right there in the parking lot, and super interesting that whoever they were calling to be let in, they didn't let them in because she said they just walked away. They weren't let in. So, I mean, obviously unwanted company. We have unwanted company here, and I don't know what the cops did with her.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm really trying here.
Nope, all right. While you're doing that, can I get your first name, please?
That's stuff. Here, I have my ID as well.
Oh, perfect.
Right here. If you just want that right there.
Here's my ID. Here's everything.
okay, yeah, right there. She's giving it up easy. She's like, I got nothing to hide, bro. This is for real. Two dudes. Where's this in the feckin' report?
Right?
Is this Lucy, is this in the new doctor?
So the order was at 5:41 was when it was put in. So I think I left here about 5:30.
There you go. She left around 5:30 p.m. So let me take a look at the if we take a look at here, let me do this. This is good. Now let me go to my little timeline here of what happened, what was going on, right? What was going on during this time? Around 5:30. So if I add this, okay. So around 5:30, we have 4:51. We have Bethany and Xana leaving to Allie Benson's place and go back to 112 King Road. Bethany, Xana, Maddie, Kaylee, and Dylan were all at the house making food. Around this time, we have the girls at 1122. At 6 p.m., Hunter Chapin says the formal began. 6 p.m., Bethany, Xana, Maddie, Kaylee, and Dylan all went to take a nap and set alarms. Now that's really interesting that Bethany says this. around 6 p.m. That's kind of
Repeat
around it. Huh?
Repeat that.
Okay, so what I'm looking at here is what I'm taking a look at here is 5:30 p.m. We have a neighbor, young lady, right? She says that at 5:30 she sees two guys trying to get in to 1122 King. Okay? Now, and my brain is like, okay, what's happening around 5:30, right? Are the girls in the house around this time? And in fact, they are. Because according to Bethany in supplement 90, her interview at 6 p.m., they all put their alarms, set their alarms, and take a nap. So, yes, there were people at 1122 when these two guys tried to get in. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yep. I
There
think
were
there's
people
always somebody at that residence. There's always. I mean, look at it. Look at the noise complaint. You have Hunter running the show, so they leave. They not only leave the house with when other people are there, they leave somebody in charge.
Now take a look at this. Kane, at 6 p.m., what else happens? Approximately at 6 p.m., Kai Davis says he leaves around halftime of the Vandals football game with everyone, and then they go to the Whites. So around this time, and I'm thinking, could that have been Kai? Could that have been Kai Davis and someone else trying to get into the house? I mean, we're trying to place these people, we're trying to figure a timeline of where they all are.
Right. No, yeah, and maybe it's they couldn't get somebody on through text or Instagram, so they're knocking on the door like, come on, let's
And they
go
went
to
back
White.
to the Whites, right? And they're like, okay, I'll just go to the Whites. I don't know. I'm speculating here, but this is interesting. What do you think halftime would be for the Vandals game?
Let
me look it up.
Probably 6 o'clock, 5:30.
So we're around this same time frame.
Oh yeah.
And Kai Davis specifically says in his interview he leaves at halftime. I have to look it up, but okay, let me continue on. Let's go back to the interview, right? Let's finalize this.
Yep.
Okay. I like your backgrounds.
Thank you. That's a new one. I cut off a bunch of thumbnails.
That's super cool.
I like Muppets.
Is that you?
Mm-hmm. But it's kind of an old joke. I'll tell you later. My British buddy did an AI of me, and it came out like that.
With hair, with curls,
with long locks. Scully says I stole.
Scully says what?
I stole the hair to cut from him. He's got nappy old hair like that.
I'm gonna play this and also try and look up halftime Vandals game on this day.
What are you doing here? No one knows you here. Something like that. So if they were there and had been there while people were there, I assume it had to be someone that they knew. Obviously, I don't know. And then obviously there's a chance that they, broke in through the back door or were hiding. So in that case, that doesn't really help. But
do you know if it was common to make sure that the slider was shut and locked before they went to bed? Or was security really a concern for them over there?
I feel like it was probably not that common of a thing, just knowing them. Oftentimes when they came back, when they came back to the house, they were drunk because it was usually after a party or something or whatever. Excuse me. Or
this isn't something you worry about in Moscow, Idaho.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, and
I don't think we ever locked our doors to our apartments.
I
think we like went home for break and didn't lock the doors. We're always open.
no, since I mean, I leave my car unlocked up here with the keys in the ignition, or at least I used to.
Nothing bad happens in Moscow, right?
You know, I'm starting to think there's a good chance that this guy is either hungover or really brain damaged.
The way he's
he
talking?
has that. Well, he's just got that kind of look to his face, you
look?
know. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like he reminds me of Steve Jr.
Yeah. So this is interesting, right? Because it's not here. Like, look at this. So they played UC Davis on this day, right?
Mm-hmm. That was a rivalry, by the way.
Kickoff time 4, end game 7. It was 3 hours long. So where's the halftime? Where do you see that?
So if you left Kibbe Dome, then wait, go back up. Oh, wait, no,
Up?
you're right. No,
Here?
you're right. You're right. Keep going down.
Down?
This corner center. Yep. Right there.
So it would be
UCD, so University of Davis. Gomez gets a field goal at the last minute there, kicking the Vandals' asses at 2:57. That's left. That's the amount of time left on the clock. So those aren't the times of day.
oh, okay. So how do
And
you
so they-
figure halftime?
Well, halftime ends after the second quarter.
Oh, wait, let me see. Play by play, maybe?
15 minutes, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, here, second quarter. Da da da.
Yeah, they don't give times, I guess. Start 6. Yeah, I mean the quarters are 15 minutes long, but you have time between each play. You have, you know, all the conversion downs and all that stuff.
Oh, so I guess like I have to look at the footage, like the actual game.
Typically about an hour and a half to 2 hours for half. You know, for NFL, it used to be a little slower. They speeded it up now.
No, it totally makes sense because they're literally telling you it's 3 hours long. So, yeah, an hour and a half.
That gives you have to figure in though the halftime show, and they have the little Vandal band come out there and play.
So 5:30 to 6 is legit. 5:30 to 6 is legit halftime.
Yeah,
right?
and especially in a game where you're getting beat this bad, 44-26. You just kind of let it happen. It's like they put a couple points on the board, but it's just like, okay, this is, so it's not like you're calling timeouts to try to win the game or anything like that.
They were losing bad. Look at this. They were losing bad. They only had one
suck.
touchdown. Yeah.
The Vandals are a terrible team, and that's what really kind of bothered me in the beginning is that if you're familiar with Timmy Reed, with the Vandal football players getting away with beating him up in ski mask, in balaclavas with clubs, and then his lawyer chickening out and wouldn't even come on my show or talk to me because they're scared of something. And I mean, what really pissed me off was that they're protecting this football team and they're so worried about recruiting new members and stuff that they're willing to cover shit up all the time. I mean, they kept that Timmy Reed stuff thing from us for almost 2 months, and we were up they butts. You know what I mean? We were all up in it. And we find out about it through some press release, and it's like, holy crap, they really want to protect these football players and these frats at damn the expense.
When did that happen? The Timmy
It
Reed
was about a year and a half after the crime.
Wow.
So you can imagine it was hot and heavy. And if you see, I mean, he was beat within an inch of his life. And all Moscow PD, they couldn't have covered it less than with the DoorDash driver beating. You know what I mean? that kid did die on the way to the hospital. And I like I always say, you don't need to necessarily be the what? Look at his lapel. I just noticed that. What's on his lapel? Is that a pin or tape?
I think it's a pin. It's like the Sigma Chi pin.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just noticed that. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't. These are kids who are paying for friends. Their parents are more than willing to pay $5,000, $10,000 a year or a semester for them to be important at the school. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I didn't go as far in life as some of these kids will, but I never needed to pay for friends.
Right.
I never needed to have somebody puke on me or piss on me to be their friend.
No, that's just.
So you got to think. I mean, look at that. This guy looks like a dolt. I mean, literally, like somebody just bashed him over the head.
He looks like Shaggy from Scooby Doo. He'd be a good Shaggy.
Be rude. That's funny. Yeah. All right.
We're almost done here. Cool. I know you have stuff to do.
Thick in the head at times.
I'm here as long as you
know, but
Okay, the night before, were you at the Sigma Chi party?
I was.
And what do you remember about the party?
I actually wasn't in the legitimate lodge for the party for that long. I was in room for.
This is another one. So this Kennedy Fitzgerald's young lady, her interview just came out yesterday. Connor, I listened to it.
It just came out yesterday, really. Oh man.
Yeah. And so they spoke about, so apparently she was with Bethany most of the night, with Dylan most of the night, and now enter Conrad. So here we go. Conrad was also there. He's placing himself in this same group. I was in Peter's room for a while. Okay.
Wow, and that's actually where Ethan was originally.
Yes, we know that. Okay.
Which room?
It would have been room. I think
the upper
left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Double.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you did.
Yeah.
What did he whisper? Why did he whisper that?
He whispered, "I live there too." That's another cop in the background, because I mean, how biased why were they allowed to even interview him? Because isn't this
it's a conflict of interest, right?
Yeah, they're protecting him. I don't know. How do you see it?
Well, there's another interview, I forgot whose it was, that they conducted with an officer that had been true blue Sigma Chi, and they conducted the feckin' interview at Sigma Chi. And it's like, when do you know of criminal investigations that necessarily, I guess they could take place in your house, whatever, but typically they tell you, come on down to the station, answer some feckin' questions, because just getting you out of your environment makes you uncomfortable that you're going to have a better chance of either snapping or telling the truth, or, you know what I mean? Instead of hiding stuff, you're now in a pressure situation surrounded by caps, as opposed to Suzanne B. As opposed to in a nice, comfortable situation with another frat brother at Sigma Chi, and oh, hey, when you guys grab us another log? I mean, I would not be surprised if they were drinking during that interview. I would not 100% be surprised.
Do you hear him all chummy? You caught that. All chummy. I live there too. Like, come on now. Oh, man.
So, yeah, I was in there for a bit, and it was just me, some of the G5s, and then Ethan and Xana came in. I remember Xana coming over to me. She gave me a hug, seemed super happy.
About what time?
I think this was around 9.
Okay.
or 9:30. And then I saw Ethan. I remember saying hi, talking to him. I had pink lemonade brunettes, which was Ethan's go-to for a drink. So I remember offering him
What is it?
pink lemonade brunettes.
What is that?
It's just a flavor of Burnett's vodka. Yeah. And it was his favorite because it was like $15.
Where did he get that at?
He would just get it from other people.
Just somebody that was 21 in the house that could go buy liquor.
Yeah, someone or another friend in another house. It didn't really matter. He'd just text.
So right now, in this instance, right now, this story, part of the story he's telling us, they're in Peter's house, Pete's apartments, right? Xana and Ethan come in. So now we know that Ethan went to accompany Maisie, take Maisie to her formal, right? So this is after Maisie's formal now. We're at 9 p.m. and 9 p.m. Ethan sends Maisie a text saying, "Dog, come hang out. We all want you here," at 9 o'clock. So they were chilling. They were hanging out, right? Then 9:15, Hunter Chapin returns from the main lodge, and Ethan and Xana were gone, according to Hunter Chapin. So I'm really confused.
I'm going to say, hey, you going on an elk run? And they'd say, yeah, what do you want? Okay. And you get it.
Okay.
Because if they're all hanging out and right after Maisie's formal, everyone's hanging out at Pete's, right? He said they're drinking everything. We know for a fact Ethan texts Maisie, "Dog, come hang out." But then when I read Hunter Chapin's supplemental, his report, we don't have his interview, obviously. But when I read his statements, Hunter Chapin says that at 9:15, when he returns from the main lodge, Ethan and Zen, okay, yeah, sorry, I had to talk that one out. Okay, yeah. They're at Pete's apartment, so yeah, that's right. Hunter Chapin. What happened was that they were at Hunter Chapin's apartment. That's what got me confused. They were at Hunter Chapin's apartment, but now they're at Pete's. Okay, I think I got that now. Sorry. Let's continue.
And what was the drink?
Pink lemonade brunettes. Pink lemonade flavored brunettes.
That's a drink they used to call the panty dropper. It's basically like Pabst-Blue and lemonade, and like you get the frozen Minute Maid lemonade, and then you pour it into a beer, and then girls are drinking it. Next thing you know,
oh, I see.
They call it a brunette here, but it's basically the panty dropper.
Wait, so it's just beer and pink lemonade? That's all?
Yep. Absolutely. The cheapest beer you can find. 100%.
Okay.
21?
No. I don't think so, no. I believe Xana was 20.
So if he was drinking a pink lemonade brunettes there, does that mean that he brought it there? Or could that have been somebody else's?
If he was drinking pink lemonade at Sigma Chi?
Yeah, you said that night that he was drinking a pink lemonade brunettes.
Oh, that was mine.
That was yours?
Yes.
You brought that alcohol?
Yes. Okay. For myself. That was my own alcohol for the night that I had.
Oh, okay. And did Ethan, is that also what Ethan drank?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because we see pink lemonade bottles in the crime scene photos.
Right. When I say frozen lemonade, it could be like the Minute Maid bottles, which are probably more popular. Are you talking about like the ones that are on the shelf with 2 liters, the pink lemonades, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Anything to sweeten up alcohol. Burnett might be the name of the beer. I don't know what the local lagers are over there. If Twiz is watching, I don't know if he wants to chime in and tell us if that's a brand he recognizes. You want to look that up real quick? What a Burnett? Because a Burnett could be like a Schlager, like a schnapps or whatever, and that's another thing that the frat guys use to get girls drunk with really quickly.
Oh, It's actually pink lemonade vodka.
It's pink lemonade vodka. Okay. So yeah, they were getting down. They were, and if you want to sit here and tell me that Dylan was drinking all that, Dylan never touched a drop of alcohol that night. 100%. She was in my opinion, she was going into this with the plan. She went into it sober. She came out of it sober. For some reason, getting wasted on boards became part of the plan, but I don't believe that for a second. I think that's one of the biggest lies perpetrated in this case, for sure.
Okay. All right. Now that we know what it is.
It is what the same kind of alcohol that Ethan drank. And I think he had a sip of mine that night, but that was just his go-to drink. And that's why I offered it to him, because I hadn't seen him that day before. And so I was like, hey, do you want a shot?
Sure.
Kind of thing.
Okay, got it. I was just trying to figure out if he'd gone to the liquor store that
Oh, no, he hadn't. And then from there, I remember talking to him. He said, hey, you got to try this new flavor, strawberry banana. And I was like, that sounds terrible. And then I remember making fun of his jersey, because he was wearing a Steelers jersey because it was Santa's.
Oh my God, he was wearing a jersey.
Whatever, dude. Wow, what a dude. This guy's a douche. I mean, there's guy razzing. There's, you know what I mean. There's all that busting balls and stuff like that. But when you're just a dick because you're a dick, and he's talking about it here, like, I don't know. This guy is either had a lobotomy or he drank 50 panty droppers himself last night.
He's on Adderall. Oh no, Adderall is the upper, so he's on the opposite.
Ativan. Yep, like a Xanax.
Wait, but he says Ethan was wearing a Steelers jersey, but I thought that Ethan was still wearing his, like, I always pictured Ethan wearing what he was wearing to Maisie's formal. So apparently Ethan changed it to a Steelers.
Maybe that's all that was over at the house, because even girls tend to buy jerseys bigger than their size. So Xana had a jersey that was like an extra large that was huge on her as a jammy nightgown thing. And then Ethan's like, oh, I just put this on. I don't have to, walk around in my formal clothes and shit.
So if he was wearing his Steelers jersey, that means when he got back to 1122 King, he took it off, because you see that Steelers jersey sitting on Xana's chair. You see a Steelers jersey sitting on Xana's chair, and you see one sitting on Bethany's chair in her bedroom. So you have two
Steelers jersey on her chair?
Yeah, you have one Steelers jersey on Bethany's chair, according to the crime scene photos, and you have another Steelers jersey in Xana's bedroom. So if this guy here said, Conrad, he said that Ethan, clearly he's telling us that Ethan was wearing a Steelers jersey, then that means that when he got back to 112 King, he took off his clothes. That means he was getting ready for bed.
Well, I think he was found butt ass, right? She was in her panties walking around the house. I think they came home, they knocked one out, and then whatever happened. Here's a debunker, though. I just kind of put together, though, Stoner, is that the picture that we've all seen now, the still frame of the video from the light bulb cam at the apartments.
Yeah.
Now we have a guy, he's not wearing a Steelers jersey. So we were, it's, if you look at that frame by frame by frame, it's Ethan 1 second. It's not Ethan. It is Ethan. It's, it's like somebody that.
Oh, you're kidding.
But he's
not. What time is that? What time?
Here, I'll share Scully sent me the thing and all the things.
Yes, please, let's do that.
Share that. Yeah, because what's her name? The lovely Phoenix also cleaned up that picture, or had somebody do it for her.
Really?
Whatever, but
Okay, I'm just gonna play this and then let's do that. I want to go there.
Stretch a little bit. Sure.
No, sure.
And he's a Seahawks fan, and I was like, "Why are you wearing a Steelers jersey? You're a Hawks fan." And he was like, "I know it sucks, but it's whatever. I didn't have one, so."
Because it was
a jersey party.
A jersey party.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. It was a jersey party.
Got you.
I knew this. I know. Okay, cool. Now this makes sense. All right, cool. All right, let's continue.
Okay. And then after that, we kind of just stayed in there for a little bit, all hung out for a little while before the party, and then.
Well, now 100%. 100%. Kai Davis, number 8, and Colby Pugh, number 9. They were in this party because what? At the grub truck, we see them with jerseys. So.
Yep. Oh, that's good. Okay, so now that's a connection that's been made. That's awesome. Yep. Got it.
Him and Xana. Oh, no. I left. I left the apartment after that and went back to my apartment and then went into the party.
What
for a little
apartment
bit.
again?
Apartment.
Okay.
I left you
and then after that, I was in the party for a little bit, came back to my apartment. I was kind of just going in and out the whole night.
There used to be a great Pink Floyd mural on the wall.
Really?
On the stairs. It was really intricate. Nobody wanted to paint over it because.
No one cares about your freaking experience in the frat right now. Focus on these 4 murders.
Well, he's talking about Pink Floyd, though. Wait, let him talk. Let him talk.
That's true.
It was so cool. It had been there for like 10 years.
Uh-huh.
I finally got painted over it.
Yeah, it's not there anymore, sadly. I wish it was, though. But then, yeah, some girls came to my apartment as the party started kind of dying down because I think we ended the party at 1 o'clock. Because we normally end them at 2. But for some, I think there was a Idaho bound or something. Your campus was dry for some reason. And so I actually don't even really know how the university let us throw the event because usually even wet houses can't throw wet events during dry campus. But for some reason, they let us throw it. And then I think we shut it down at 1. And then from there, we hung out in my apartment, just me and some other girls. And then we hung out there till about 2, I believe. And then we went over to their apartment at the Whites.
Whose apartment at the Whites?
The one I was mentioning earlier.
They were hanging out with you in.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the
after
night before.
The night before.
The night of the party, yeah.
Okay, so after the party, you hung out until when?
Until about 2 a.m., I believe. And then we all went over to their apartment, which was me, and then I think it was. I apologize if I don't have the best memory of this. I had drank a lot that night. But then it was, I believe, as well. And then I can't remember if and were also there that night or not, or if I'm thinking about just another night because we went over there pretty often. But we hung out there for probably 2.5 more hours. I think I went home around 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And I walked back with, I believe.
What?
And then
how were they that night? How was there any problems at this White's apartment?
No, we were all just.
Did anybody leave? After you walked over there at about 2 with these guys, did any of them leave and come back?
No, none of the guys did. Some of the girls left, and I think that was around 3:30, I believe.
But none of the guys left.
Not that I know. If J and were there, they left earlier than me, but they just went back to the house.
All these times he's stating right here are all the times the suspect vehicle is seen. 3:30.
It's also when nothing was happening, when it was a quiet night, when nobody was awake, right?
Oh man, he said a lot there, but we're gonna move on, and I'm going to present. Okay, here we go. So this is Linda Lane cam, right?
Right. I'm looking for the color one that Phoenix did.
Oh, okay. So let me remove this one
No,
here.
yeah, look, you can look at those. Those are. I mean, we're just trying to show that he wasn't wearing. If that's him, he wasn't wearing a Phoenix jersey. If it's not him, I don't know. Here's a. I'm gonna give you
Yeah, I don't think this
I'll
is
put a
Ethan.
link in the back chat. Check it out. This one really
Okay.
does look like Ethan. I mean, here's the thing.
It does.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that one. Yeah, that was the one I was just gonna pull up. There's one more that's like color.
How do I go to a back chat? Oh, private. Here
Oh,
we
it's
go.
private chat. Yeah.
Oh, sure. But like when you send a link here in chat, I can't click on it. Like,
Oh,
you
I
see
know.
that?
With you can only do it in
Oh,
in
so
the back
what?
chat. You can
Oh,
highlight it and copy it.
okay. So how do I do? Oh, can you tell me what I look for on YouTube for this one? Like, how
You
do
already showed it. That did I put one in the
this
back chat? Is that
YouTube?
what
Like this YouTube link?
where is that? Oh, in the chat I put it. Let me see. Forgot what I did.
Yeah, you said there was like a frame by frame of Ethan. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Oh,
confused.
this is another. She did a whole show on the one you're showing right now, though,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's the same thing that Lucy and I have been saying all along. That they literally created this whole solar system in front of the headlights of the car. Because if you look at the headlights, it's like if you look at any other headlights on a camera on a surveillance camera,
Yeah.
they look like headlights. For some reason, this suspect vehicle one had this entire supernova in front of it that prevents us from telling what kind of car it is, all the things. So you can see that in all their efforts to hide stuff, on the left there you have this anomaly that they added, because we know this footage has been messed with. Okay, because first of all, when you look at the license plates are blurred out, all types of things. You got the weird people coming up and disappearing, and then you have what I call the shadow monster. If you've seen any of my Zoom in lives, which is covering up whatever the hell is going on the entire night, to the left of the stairwell down from the 112 camp. They added this whole glob of black that just is covering up, and then in the morning, I'd watched that glob cam so much that I didn't even realize. I thought it was a bush that was swaying in the breeze, but eventually, after weeks of looking at this thing, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, because there's little moments where you see stuff, and you're like, "Am I?" After watching it for hours and hours, you're like, "Am I tripping or what's going on?"
No, seriously.
And in the morning, you see what's, I guess, been there all along is a towel and what looks like a tube of lube. And I'm not even fucking kidding you. A tube of lube right where this shadow monster was that disappears as the sun comes up. And I was like, holy crap, there's no bush there. You know what I mean? I mean, what the hell was going on? And so some of the stuff that you see, in the brainworms of your mind when you're looking at this is a person that is basically somebody's having their way with them section, or whether it's mutual consensual. It's just, it pops out once in a while. And I just think that they expected, just like this picture here with the headlights that straight away from the car, or actually in this case the taillights, See, look at the actual taillights. Without the little added thing on, they're just taillights.
Okay, do you mind if I open this? I think Jules has it.
Yeah,
Let
no,
me,
go ahead.
yeah, I want to go to this timestamp. Scully, I sent you a link um, if you want to observe this with us. I sent you a link in there in chat. I think we've had enough of Conrad for today. Let's let's move on to Jules. So her channel's Jules True Crime. Um, I mean, everyone knows her, so I don't like.
Yeah, we
I
know
don't.
Jules. She's
Yeah,
watching right now too.
everyone
Hi,
knows
Jules.
Jules. All right, so let
She watches
me.
she watches as much as she broadcasts. She's amazing. She's a great
Really?
girl. Yeah.
Aw.
She needs to apologize for calling Twiz a liar, though. Still.
Jules True Crime, and I'm looking
Hey, Joe.
for 112 Cam.
Yeah, all the creators watch my show. It's funny. I call them the 300, and I'll find little bits and pieces of my, because I'm linguistically gifted also as well.
Yeah, so I hear.
Don't believe that. And I'll find little things, little excerpts of stuff that people have pulled from me. But we all do it. We all take ideas from each other and stuff.
Absolutely.
It's all good.
No, and it's not only that, like it could be a piece of the puzzle. This person has a piece of the puzzle that you were looking for, and it connects everything else. I mean, hey Pedro, welcome to this chat. Scully, I sent you the link if you want to join us. So here we are, Jules True Crime. Give her a shout out. Give her a follow. And we're going to check out the 333 footage. So let's go there. Mm. $4:15. I love how she has the times on there too.
Yeah, I guess that it's said that with these cameras, the files save in 5-minute increments. And that's what they're claiming, allegedly, anyway. And so this was a problem with the Discovery because they would send her bits and pieces, but missing entire hours, missing footage, this and that.
Oh, really? Oh, this is why she uploads it with like this in increments? That's why?
That's how we
my
got it. Yeah, I mean, they
goodness.
got it with it spliced together, literally. Now look at the license plates right there in the front. All three of those are blurred out, right? So we know that this footage has already been tampered.
Right.
And then right where your mouse is right now, that is the shadow beast. What is going on there? What are they trying to hide? It looks like a damn bush. Look how it's covering the windowsill on the left. It's also covering the bullnose on the left corner of the house. It's completely covering that. I think it's a Honda Civic wagon or something right there, and it moves around like it's got a life of its own. What's up, Skulls?
Hey, sorry, it's 'cause I'm walking the dog. So in the private chat right here on StreamYard, I posted your live chat link. So when you open that link, it's just gonna show your chat.
Oh, so you can see the chat in the replay. You're saying?
Yeah, the pop-up chat.
Oh, that's true. You got to do that. Why did you do that for me, bro?
Bitch, you never listen to me.
That's what Lucy said. Stop copying
I'll be
Lucy.
like, hey, he's like, never mind.
We were doing a new segment, Stoner, it's called Walking Around Hollywood.
Oh.
And Scully just walks around his neighborhood and shows us the Hollywood sign and stuff like that. I guess you're just walking your dogs right now, though, huh? It looks like a nice sunset you got going on.
Hold on, let me delete the fucking background.
If you hover over his image, you'll see two arrows going like diagonal. You can make him full screen. Just move your mouse to the right a little bit.
Oh no, I would have to turn my camera.
There
Or
it is. Yep. Got it.
Oh, she did it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Full screen. Yep.
Oh, traffic right now. Well, we can't see the Hollywood sign right now because it's all the way over there.
Those two dogs, they look like poodles, but they're actually pit bulls in disguise. Where's my purse? Where's that purse?
She's right there. La perch, Petra. Petra, say hi, mama.
Look at the smile of this dog. She loves being outside.
Petra.
They were, you know, these used to be circus animals. They can jump through fiery hoops and all that stuff.
Are you lying?
I'm making it up.
I know it.
I should do like dog racing and have people bet money online.
That would be hilarious.
With the 8 poodles.
They already have that somewhere. I'm sure someone already has that.
I wonder.
That's got to be a thing. It totally has to be a thing.
So we're going on 333, right? And this is the car that 333.
Oh, okay. This is the
What
van.
car is it? It says, well, at 3:30 it says the suspect vehicle white sedan at 3:30, right?
Oh, it's a speak for one.
That's why I got fixated on that timestamp. So what I did was the video, I slowed it down to 0.5 on YouTube. Then I screen recorded, and then I put in the video editor, and then I slowed it down even more. And that's how I was able to extract these hidden frames. How they did the airbrush overlay with the fucking blasted lights to hide the fucking car. And then you're able to see that they're fucking hiding 2 cars. How is one car going to be driving forward and the other one backwards? And then you see that split image for a split second.
No,
and
I
also
believe you.
the frames per second do not match on the car. So when the car's driving and turns right here on Taylor onto Queen, and it's driving east down towards 1122, right before the car gets out of frame, when you slow it down, the frame rate for the car is different from the camera footage. So that's how you could tell they altered it. I'll make a video so I can show you guys more detail.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, look. So this vehicle approaching, right? Let's pause it frame by frame. So this one here.
Look at the.
Now I saw this. You see this?
Yeah, look at around the car. It's like there's this whole blurred out block that they put over
Kane, it
it.
looks like there's 2 cars here. How can this be? How can the light be here and up here? It's not even lining
Wow,
up.
look, oh wow, that's a good call, Soder. I didn't even notice that one.
Let me find the video where I really slow it down, and I'll put it on the screen. So I'll be right back.
Look,
That is
wait,
nuts.
is that a
Yeah,
reflection? I don't know.
On what?
Is that?
How is a
Oh,
reflection?
maybe another car here, parked here.
Yeah, but give me a break, dude. This is ridiculous. Wow. I mean, here's the thing: is it a car, or is it a jet engine? Because that's literally what I would expect to see the exhaust from like a FR-15 or F-15 airplane to look like, as opposed to the taillights of a vehicle. Let me tell you one thing: they fuck up, because when they're not trying to hide stuff, if you look at the other vehicles in the footage, they don't have this aurora borealis surrounding. I mean, the taillights, let me tell you, 100% I can tell you, is that the taillights to that vehicle are not going to block out half of the vehicle's body. Okay? It's going to shine behind it. Light travels in the directions that it's sent. It doesn't wrap around,
Yes.
It's insane. And that being a reflection, I have my doubts. That does seem like some other anomaly of something else they removed. Look at that.
And it's going over.
Look at that. It looks like the car exploded. Did you see the Amazon explosion yesterday?
No.
They're trying to Amazon got a contract to send to build a base on the moon, and their first their first adventure in rocketry exploded here in Florida like nobody's business.
Where in Florida? Are you serious?
At Cape Canaveral, yes, ma'am, 100%. And so here's the amazing thing, is that it was filmed from every godzillion angle that you could ever imagine. Hold on, I'll show you
I
the
gotta catch
explosion.
that. Do you want to?
I'll share it with you right now.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know if you're religious. I'm not super religious or anything, but I believe that this is just going. Oh wait, I gotta do it in a different browser. I'm sorry. Hang on one second. She's on the pup cam. We can't see the pup cam, Stoner.
I took it down because they're hanging outside.
Right on.
Free BK investigate the roommates. What's up, Pit fan? I know that's right.
Pit fans in the house? All right, here we go. It was filmed people in their houses, people in restaurants. They all filmed, and so there's every pot. I missed it, unfortunately, when I was live. JJ was up telling us about it, and he was, you know how JJ is. He just kind of like blah 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 mentions shit. But I believe, hold on. This is it here. Yeah, and it's like one of the biggest events, of course. And it's called Blue Origin, ironically enough. Because they talk about the blue aliens or whatever. So you should be able to pull it up on the screen now.
Got it.
Here we go. I'll start it now. Check this out. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, I have to stay on it. Let me go back. Sorry. Keep your screen up. My bad. Sorry. Check it out. Can you see it?
Yes. No.
Yeah. No. Unfortunately, no one was hurt. And like I said, it was filmed from every possible angle. But it was like the two most flammable liquid substances on Earth that they were trying to get there up. And, of course, Jeff Bezos, look at it. They show all these different angles. It's crazy.
How clear it is. I wish we had this.
Yeah. If we even had as far as across the pond like this is of anything, it'd be amazing. And those body cams, JJ's proven that the body cams, they ordered the newest body cams. And for some reason, the quality that we receive is like 50 times worse than the body cams that preceded it with the Axon body cam. Wow. Did you hear that boom? Isn't that
That's crazy. Do you guys believe Kohlberger is innocent? I have yet to find anything pointing him to these murders. How about you guys?
Meow. Did Lucy just come up on stage and slap my face?
Did she? Leave
said,
JJ out of here.
Out of your meow. She finally wrote her own joke. All her jokes have been mine up till now. Scully, how's it coming over there, bro? What's going on? Last time he did the walk through West Hollywood, he wound up in a smoke shop, and he was showing us toys of the variety. And he's like, "Oh, I thought they were just like phones or something." We get a close up of like really risque stuff. It was kind of funny.
Oh yeah, what type of stuff? Scully, you're going in circles. What's going on?
His internet is intermittent until what month is it now? June 4th. He has to piggyback off his brother's hotspot, so it comes and goes. He'll get it. He'll figure it out in a second. Look at that car. I mean, it is 100%. That is bullshit right there.
Yep.
That is just 100% bullshit. And so, like, if you show, like I said, with where they mess up is when they show other vehicles going through the neighborhood, they don't go to the lengths.
You don't
of
see it.
covering them
You
up
don't
like
see all this. Correct. Look at this. No, this is crazy.
JJ says that in a lot of these cases with a lot of these cover-up things that NASA and Disney are involved in the CGI of it. Look at that. It's gone. It looks like a poodle just jumped and laid down on top of it or something. I mean, a light poodle. It's not like it's like it's exploding, bro. Like, I don't know. It's crazy.
No, this is, I don't know. That I just can't. I don't know. So, is there anything else you want to talk about? Because how long we been on here?
You are at right
3.5 hours. Yeah, I want to, I'm
I usually
gonna
do 6 hours, but that if you want to come on and
yeah, for
be a guest
sure.
on the show tonight, that'd be cool. Take a little rest and shut it down now, and
Yeah, I'm
we'll
gonna
do the
shut it
Scully
down.
thing later. So
Thank you
what
for
are we at?
joining me. This was awesome.
Oh, no,
Scully,
thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, we're at 10 o'clock already. Holy
Yeah.
cow! Wow, time flies when you're having fun. Okay. What kind of things?
Scully, thank you for joining also. I'm going to end the stream and join you guys later on. All right. Thanks everyone for joining. Lucy especially, because, everyone loves her and I'm like, yay, Lucy likes me. Thanks for joining, guys. Have a good evening. Later.
Fuck, I was